that. I think the focus for Jarrett is in practice trying. You want to show them that you know what you're doing, that you can handle the offense. I think the second thing is you go to Sean Payton and these are the things I like, these are the things I don't like. And then the third thing is you go to Sean Payton and say, I'm not going to win the game. You are. You're the Super Bowl winning coach. I'm a backup. I'm not supposed to win this game. You can get overly consumed by what is in front of you, whether you look at it as what a cool opportunity or the pressure and the reality that weighs on you. But this is where, the being a creature of habit pays its dividends. I often say the more you can brainwash yourself, the better. And so hopefully he's able to brainwash himself into his consistent routine and then be ready to go play a game.
But what do you mean? Like tell yourself, okay, it's the second quarter of a preseason game, and at the beginning,
yes.
Do you brainwash yourself thinking, okay, this is just like when I'm playing the Arizona Cardinals in August?
Yeah, you legit, you brainwash yourself into just thinking, I'm gonna go execute first down. I'm just gonna just play by play, because unless you do that, it's impossible for the human element to not think about what happens if it's 3rd and 6 in the fourth quarter and we're down 4 and I get man coverage. It's just impossible. So the more you can brainwash yourself into just go live, play by play, and let the result be what the result will be, the more you can brainwash yourself into thinking that's the most important thing, the better.
And back to Sean Payton, I mean, is he not maybe the most, obviously one of the best offensive coaches in football, and you mentioned the Super Bowl championship, the most equipped coach to do this? I go back to 2019, Breeze goes out, Teddy Bridgewater steps in, goes 5-0, because he's one of these guys that's going to game plan around whatever the skill set of that quarterback is. And, ultimately, what is the path to victory? It's not going to be Jarrett Stidham. It's going to be that Broncos defense, and what are they going to do offensively?
Yeah, I think Sean Payton is 13-10 with the backup quarterback as his starting quarterback. So it's not a guaranteed win, but you also sit there and say, in the reality of it's hard to win in the NFL with a good starting quarterback, let alone backups. So Sean is absolutely equipped. I do not think Sean is going to play this close to the best. I do not think he's going to be cautious. I don't think he's going to try to baby Jarrett Stidham. Sean Payton's the guy that at halftime against Peyton Manning made an onside kick. He's going to go play this aggressive. He's got a great defense going against an offensive line that has not been very good for New England. It certainly has some weaknesses. Go trust that defense. I think they're going to come out aggressive. And I think that you can't ask Jarrett Stidham to try to figure out what New England's doing. They're really good with some of their disguises on defense. Go be aggressive, take your shots down the field, see if you can gain a lead to try to, at least as much as you can, make New England one-dimensional offensively and allow the pass rush to dominate the game.
You've watched a lot of him now. Obviously, he played high school football here in our city. He played college football for a couple of years at Auburn. His family goes very deep in this state. Have you watched enough of Bo Nix?
Catch up on all today's Next Round on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcast, wherever you listen. Always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you never miss any part of the Next Round.
It's Bo time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's Bo time. It's Bo time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's Bo time.
From driveways to interstates, accidents happen fast. The insurance company's response? Here's our offer. Take it or leave it. Leave it. Call Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys. Over 250,000 clients. And no, they don't accept lowball offers. They fight, they win. Over $2 billion recovered. Call now for a free consultation. 659-777-7777 or alexwins.law. Physical office location, Birmingham.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
So much developing breaking news to get to in the first segment. We'll get to the main part of the show coming up. I had my second bite of a churro, finished my first ever churro last night. I'll tell you the story later on. Well, the only other churro I've ever eaten was in the press box at the national championship game. I forget which one it was.
Okay.
And I didn't like it, so I've been anti-churros, but last night changed that. So we'll get back to that later on. Developing news with reaction on Bediako coming up in this segment. And we'll get to eventually the NFL. Lance is there in Seattle as he joins the show now. But we start the show off, Lance and Brownie, with the word coming down from the College Football Playoff Committee, at least the reports right now from Pete Thamel and Ross Dellinger, is that we're going to stick at 12 teams for next season. That's the giant Lance Taylor in the screen, overlooks us all.
You're so there you go.
Whoa,
Yeah,
empowering Lance Taylor.
when you lead forward, you're big.
The all-knowing Lance Taylor, what do you think of sticking at 12?
I mean, I guess it shows you the egos of both Tony Petitti and Greg Sankey. I mean, nobody wanted to give. I mean, Sankey obviously wanted to put the toe in the pool of 16, and Petitti was going to agree to it if they would, after 2 years, go to 24. I think we all agree 24 is too many. I would rather stick at 12 than go to 24. So when you have Big Ten v. SEC, this doesn't surprise me, really.
Yeah, I mean, I just think realistically, we were just talking with Brooks about this before the show starts. We've only had 12 2 years, and we've only had 12 in the proper format 1 year. Can we just see if 12 works a minute before we go to 16 or 24? And real quick, I don't know what metrics you use to say, well, 12 works. I don't know what those metrics are. I don't know what they look at.
Well, there's two ways to look at it. And one of them, does it work for the customer? Well, it did this year. The television ratings were tremendous for the national championship game, and for varying levels of it, other than 2 group of 5 games, all the playoffs were good numbers. But the national championship numbers were through the roof when you talk about the ratings that came out last night. And that's a win for the customer. Now, for the business, LT, if you're the SEC, you've invited Texas and Oklahoma into your party, and now 12 teams as a national playoff. I've got 16 teams. Most of them are really good football brands. We want a bigger playoff because some of these brands want to be playoff teams. So from the customer standpoint, it was a success this year, in my opinion. From a business standpoint, if I'm the SEC and the Big Ten that have invited these major brands into my league that has only gotten bigger, I probably want more access to get my brands in there.
No, I get that, but the SEC has lost a little strength of their argument over the last couple of years, obviously, with the Big Ten winning 3 consecutive national championships and the SEC going 3 consecutive years not even playing in the national championship game.
Yeah, I just look, ultimately what's going to determine this is money. I mean, we're all smart enough to know that, right? Like if ESPN came to the table and said, you know what, these ratings are good, Jim. These ratings are good. We would like 16 would give us what? What's that going to give you 2 more games? Am I right about that?
16 would give us it would be
just 1 more game.
Yeah, it would be 1 more game because it goes 8, then it'd be 4, 2, and 1.
No, 1 more round. Well, no, I mean, no. How many total games more would it give you? You got 4 byes, so it'd give you 4 more games.
It would
right?
give you 4 games.
Yeah, 4 more games. That's what I'm getting at. Yeah, 4 more games. So if they said
we 8 in the first round instead of 4.
Yeah. So we need 4 more games to sell. I mean, then I think the SEC and the Big Ten listen, right? I mean, if ESPN stepped up, but there's no reason for ESPN to do that because ESPN, correct me if I'm wrong, they've got the same agreement they have now, whether it's 12 or 16. Am I correct about that?
Yes. It's only if it goes to 24 is when they have to put it on open market.
Which is so when people in the chat room are asking, why is the Big Ten so sold on 24? I kind of think that's part of it, right? The Big Ten, they are in bed with Fox, and I think they know, to be fair, they were in bed with Fox, NBC, and CBS, And they know if it goes to 24, ESPN can't handle all of that. They're already selling some off the TNT.
Well, it's not that they can't handle it, is they can't afford.
Well, that's
and
why
would not want to afford it, but it's going to bring more money into college football, because at that point, NBC, CBS, Fox, and ESPN, ABC would be bidding like they do in the NFL to broadcast playoff games.
And when I say can't handle it, that was part of it. It's not just the space to put the games on ABC and ESPN, but the finances, the money they would have to pay to do it.
Yeah.
So I think that's part of why the Big Ten wants to do it, is now our partners get involved. Fox gets involved, NBC gets, or at least they've got the opportunity to. And from listening to Klatt when he comes on, you get the feel from Klatt that if Fox had an opportunity to get involved, they would jump.
I would agree with that. So 12 is what is expected today, barring a last-minute Hail Mary that gets it to 16 if the Big Ten decided to do something. But right now we'll go 12, just like it was this year, for next year. However that makes you feel as a college football fan, we'd love to hear that in the chat room. The other big story before we go wall-to-wall Bediako here in a second, with some great reaction from coaches last night. The other big story today is Fernando Mendoza has made it official. He is on his way to the NFL. I don't think there was any doubt about this, though there had been some reports of Mark Cuban, joking I'm sure, Lance, of offering him first-round contract money to stay one more year. Apparently, if you believe it or not, Cuban was offering him $39.4 million to come back and try to run it back one time. And he has made it official today. He's going to the NFL. He's going to be the first overall pick of the Raiders. There's no doubt about this. But for Fernando Mendoza, this move is official now. He's on his way to the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's no surprise, but Mendoza is one of those kids based on the way he operates. It wouldn't be shocking if he came back for a final season. I think when you weighed everything out, you look at the quarterbacks that are going to be in the 2027 cycle. It's going to be a much stronger quarterback draft. He knows he is going to go number one overall with this week quarterback draft in 2026. So probably a no-brainer, but I didn't see the Cuban money report. I mean, if that's legitimate, why in the hell do you not come back?
Yeah.
I mean,
like, that is insane. Now,
I don't think it could get
I know
past.
we're about to get to Bediako, and this seems like, just wild times where we are in collegiate athletics. So that would have taken the cake right there if Mark Cuban was basically going to give this guy a lottery to come back. But, maybe the way he weighs this thing out, kind of like Cignetti joked, maybe I should just retire after winning 27 games in 2 years and have this storybook perfect season. Like, Mendoza couldn't do anything to come close to this season. So, like, I think for his legacy, this is the best way to tap out and transition onto the NFL.
You were about to say something about the $35 million. Like, there's no way that could be legit.
It couldn't pass the smell test of getting that kind of endorsement money.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way, like this college sports clearinghouse, I don't know what kind of power they have, but that's an easy one, right? You're like, no.
Hey, Brown, you say that. It's about valuation. Like, he won the Heisman Trophy. He won the national championship. He's going to be the number one overall pick. Would you not say, hey, look, his value is what the NFL is going to pay him here?
Well, yeah, but the NFL is going to pay him that over how many years? Over 4 years.
Yeah, the question would be,
4 years.
The question could be, could you get a Bloomington judge to say more on?
Hey, if he's a booster,
more on that in just a second. But that national championship audience. What was that final number, Brown?
31 million was what I'll double check, but I think that's what ESPN had, was 31 million.
The most watched non-NFL sporting event since the Game 7 of the 2016 World Series.
Yeah, 30.1 million to be fair. 30.1 million. Yeah.
So 30 million viewers watched the national championship game. I don't know who was telling you that the audience may not be big for this thing, but it was enormous for this thing without your technical name brands in there. And LT, that's 39 million watched the Broncos and Bills this past weekend in a very, it was the most watched playoff game of the weekend. That's NFL-like numbers for a national championship game on a Monday. Back to what we were talking about. Nothing broken about the customer when it comes to college football. They're tuning in.
No, I'd be interested to see, when the playoffs kicked off, it was Rams at Carolina, and that's not a great matchup. I mean, the Rams were a double-digit favorite. It ended up being a really good game, but I'd be interested to see how close that number was. I mean, back to our conversation a couple of days ago, where college football is right now, it has established itself as the second biggest sport in America. And that's a massive number, really, the Indiana brand is so interesting because we talk about the alumni, and obviously it was a great story. They were going for history. You had the Heisman Trophy winner. I think there were people that were still doubting him. So I think marginal college football fans, A, it was the national championship. B, it was an incredible story. But I wouldn't think Miami would generate any numbers at all. But, man, that's a massive number, and that's great for college football.
Most watched college football game, period, since 2014 national championship game. That was Ohio State and Oregon, as you look back.
Yeah, I was trying to remember.
Yeah.
I mean,
unless they're saying that was Florida State Auburn in 2013 play. I never know if they're calling it the 2014 season
or when the game was played. Yeah.
But Brandon Marcello says the 2014 national championship game. I think he's going by what we go by. But that would have been the first year of the college football playoff. I mean, that's more than any of your regular season games. I mean, that's a massive number.
I mean, it's an NFL-like number. I mean, that college football has always, they've always had that battle against the NFL, and they can't win it. That is an NFL-like number. I mean, that's a 30.1 million viewers is a good NFL game. I mean, that's not like a Thanksgiving Day game. I mean, those are going to be massive, massive numbers on a Thanksgiving Day. But a good NFL game is 30 million, and that has always been like, well, college can't get NFL numbers. And look, I know it's the college championship game, and I'm comparing it to a normal NFL number. I get all of that, but still, that is a massive TV number.
I have a couple of other games that this is close to. 35.63 million watched Texas and USC in 2005, the Vince Young game. So that was more than this. 30.1 million watched Ohio State and Oregon in 2015. That is the national championship game I was talking about. 30.78 million watched Alabama and Texas in 2009. If Colt McCoy had finished the game.
Right.
And then you have Indiana and Miami. Of games that actually were games for the national championship. We started doing that in 1998. Those are the four most watched.
I mean, I guess I'm not surprised when you give those brands and those games and all of that. But for this, I mean, there's so many ways to go with this, but for in an era where people are like, I'm not watching college football anymore. I hate where the sport's going. The sport's dying. This is the death of the sport. The TV numbers have never backed that argument up, ever. And this one certainly does not.
It does not.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy.
I've got the answer to Lance's question. The wild card weekend, Lance, which is where that game fell that you were talking about, the Rams and the
it would have been the Saturday early window, whatever that was, 2:30, 3:30.
Just to be fair, the average that weekend, on NFL wild card weekend across Fox, CBS, Prime, NBC, and ESPN, ABC, where all the games were, 32 million. So this is right on par with the average rating
of the first weekend of the NFL playoffs.
Entire weekend of NFL playoffs, which that's rarefied air for where you normally find college football ratings.
Yeah. So that makes sticking at 12, which is the developing news this morning, a little bit more easy to swallow if you're the SEC, the Big Ten, and everyone else in college football, because it worked this year. Now we'll see what it looks like moving forward. And if anybody else, if the SEC's able to have all of the Final Four next year, then they've got the power to battle when they get back into the negotiating room. But that's the developing story this morning. Yes, LT.
Honestly, the reason I wanted 16, and I think you guys would echo this, is I wanted no buys, and I wanted the first two rounds on college campuses.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I think it was neat, clean, and I think that's what most people were pulling for.
Yeah, to me, that would be perfect. You'd keep the bowl games. You'd keep New Year's Eve and New Year's Day relevant with the bowl games. We'd play. Another thing, I want to bring this up while we're talking about the calendar. We're all talking about overlapping with the NFL. We're going to go to an 18-game regular season sooner rather than later in the NFL, which is going to do what to their playoffs? It's going to push it back another week.
That's right.
It's also going to push back the Super Bowl another week. So I think we're perfectly fine in finishing the college football national championship on January 25th next year in Las Vegas. I think eventually when they go to 18, then that's going to free up another whole week of regular season NFL football for the college playoff.
So, but that game next year on the schedule is still divisional weekend, after divisional weekend on the 25th. My question becomes, that seems to be their sweet spot based on these TV ratings it is, and I'll follow up once again. I finally found the Rams-Panthers number. It beat that one. It was better than the Rams-Panthers, so it beat an NFL playoff game, which is a win for college football.
Absolutely.
That's where they want to be. So if the NFL and I've brought this up before, if the NFL playoffs move back, if they want to keep that game there, they've got to move back too, because that Monday night is occupied in the wild card round. It is not occupied in the divisional round.
That's right. All right. Away from that, we want to get the reaction of Charles Bediako before we talk about the games on the field with Dane Bradshaw in our next segment. Show today being brought to you by our friends at Crane U LT. You're out in Seattle. What if I wanted to move to Seattle and work a crane? Where in Alabama could I get some crane operation before I move to Seattle?
No, our folks at Crane U. Brown, you want to tell them about it?
I will. CraneU.com. CraneU.com. I'm going to tell you this. We got left behind for me. CraneU.com. The crane training you need today is right there at Crane U. A new career. You need further training. You want to advance your current career. Our friends at Crane U can handle all of that. They've got comprehensive state-of-the-art, fully stocked training facilities for mobile cranes, overhead lifts, or forklift training. Want to use your own equipment? The team at Crane U will come to you. So they do on-site and on-location training nationwide. Make your job easier and your job site safer. Mention the next round, get 10% off at Crane U. Call them for more information, 855-CRANE-U. That is 855-CRANE-U, or online, craneu.com, craneu.com.
Lance, would you like to tell us about lanceslog.com with a question mark?
Yes, I can do that, Dunaway. We're coming off a 2-1 last night at lanceslog.com. We have 2 plays available tonight. One free play up in college basketball, one in the NBA. Jump on board, win with us. Again, at lanceslog.com. Always brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill Services. Trust the name. Birmingham has trusted since 1954 for all of your plumbing, heating, cooling, any of these issues arise in your home or business. They are ready to serve you. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there. Tell them the next round sent you. Hard to stop a train. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
Okay, a little producing on the air here. Dane Bradshaw next segment. So let's run through the sound as quickly as we can so we get everybody's reaction, and then we'll talk more about Bediako on the other side. Everybody okay with that?
I'm good with that.
All right. First off, let's go to rival Auburn, Stephen Pearl, who's got an international player on his team, and also probably don't want to paint himself into a corner just in case one day, if this is going to be the rules, I don't want to be on record saying this sucks, because one day I may, if everybody's going to do it, I may want to do it myself someday. But right now, it doesn't look good. So Stephen Pearl gives you this answer yesterday about Charles Bediako.
I was wondering if you had any reaction to Bediako being eligible and planning to play at Alabama, and if that, would you guys consider, the idea of bringing back a player with eligibility or anything like that?
Yeah, Walker and Jabari have said they're coming back this year and are immediately eligible. College basketball coaches are having to operate under the rules and the guidelines that we've been given. And if you can get a judge to, was it a restraining order, I guess, file a restraining order against the NCAA, you are within your right to do so. Doesn't make it right, it doesn't make it wrong. And here's the deal, in this sport, you have the right to change your mind and change your opinion as the season goes on. For me personally, I think it's crazy for a couple of reasons. One, it's just so outside of the scope of what we've done historically. But two, I think it makes it, if we were to do that, and I said this morning on radio, I'd have a really hard time looking at the parents of the kids in our current program and saying, all right, this is why we're doing this. If I brought back Sharif Cooper, I got to tell Todd and Travis that, hey, we're bringing back a former pro. He's going to be eating into your minutes and your production. But here's what I will say. I don't know what conversations that Nate and Scott have had with their players. If they've had the conversations of, hey, listen, we're going to bring in the best talent, regardless of position, in order for us to win. If that expectation's been set, then what they're doing, there's no problem with what they're doing. If that expectation's been set, 'cause I feel like if you have those honest conversations of we're going to bring in the best players and, regardless of position and regardless of circumstance, in order for us to win. If they come in there knowing that, then, I would have a little more understanding of the situation. It's crazy that the NCAA and the SEC can't really do anything about it, So it'll be interesting to see if he plays this weekend and what impact he does have. So as of right now, no, we're not looking to bring back Jabari and Walker and Dylan and Chennai. So JT Thor, yeah, we're not looking to bring those guys back right now. So
Stephen Pearl, about as well as you can answer that, unless you wanted to burn bridges. Todd Golden, national championship head coach of the Florida Gators, on their radio coaches show, Todd Golden gets asked about Charles Bediako's eligibility at Alabama.
I think the reality is, and I don't agree with it. I don't think he should be playing. But I also don't necessarily fault Nate Oates, because this is a very competitive space, and it's our jobs to win games and do everything we can, to be the best program in our specific league. And they were able to finagle the situation where they got a judge in Alabama that is actually a donor at Alabama to, write a temporary restraining order to allow this guy to play games in Alabama. I think there's a lot of people that aren't necessarily happy about it and don't necessarily agree with it. But, with all this intervention from judges, there's only so much the league can do. There's only so much other member schools in the league can do. And we just need some people to stand up and start taking a stand. And, this guy had a great opportunity. He was at Alabama for 2 years. He played there. He was there during the NIL era. He was aware of what he was giving up by declaring to go to the draft. He stayed in past the date. That has always been, if you stay in and you sign a contract, you're done. So I think this is a slippery slope.
You're going to play them a week from Sunday. Is it a distraction?
We're going to beat him anyways.
Like that?
If he plays, we'll beat him anyways.
Yeah, if he plays, we'll beat him anyway. One more from outside the conference.
And they will.
Yeah. From outside the conference, Tom Izzo, a legendary coach, closer to the end of his career than the beginning, like Todd Golden and Stephen Pearl. Here's Izzo on Charles Bediako's situation from our friends at WILX TV.
I just get mad. I don't follow it to worry about the cases. It's pretty evident that I have no say. The coaches have no say. And coaches are doing what they want to do, and I get a kick out of it. Though some of them are coaches that are calling and complaining a year ago about it. But hey, when in Rome, do like the Romans, I guess. If that's the way it is. I think that one supersedes the other jokes, the way it went. And I recruited Bediako, so I know. So I not biting on that one. Not that you're doing it to bite on it. Utterly ridiculous. And yet we have judges now doing it. We have Congress not jumping in. We have the NCAA with no say. So it's the Wild Wild West. So be prepared for anything. And I'm just going to keep my guys. I'm going to keep being different. I'm going to keep my guys. I'm going to the transfer portal for sure in the spring. I'm going right to my locker room, and I'm going to try to keep every frickin' player I got.
That is Tom Izzo trying to do it old school. Okay, reaction from you guys. Just 2 points of business real quick. From Tom Mars, a legendary lawyer who's beaten the NCAA 1,000 times. He's undefeated, I think, against the NCAA. He says the NCAA made a major mistake years ago by not being a corporation. They're not incorporated. So they are at the mercy of every state that they do business in, and not federal laws in federal court. All these get tried in state court and not federal court. So that was a mistake, he says, on their part. So he's letting you inside of how he's beating these guys all the time. And another thing of note, LT, and I'll give you the first chance to react here out in Seattle, is that Bediako, being of Canadian descent, born in Ontario, played at Alabama on a student visa. And if you'll remember, Alabama, I think, went and played Purdue outside in Canada almost as an NIL game for Charles Bediako, if I remember that right.
Because he can't get NIL.
Because he can't get NIL money because he was on a student visa. Apparently now, since he's in the G League, he's got a work visa. So he could get it now. But just two of those as a little housekeeping backdrop. After hearing from all three of those coaches, LT, what's your reaction?
Yeah, I think we're talking about three coaches that are in different spots. I mean, you look at Tom Izzo, he's basically running through the tape right now. I think guys like Izzo and Rick Barnes and Bill Self probably have different commentary on the Bediako situation than a guy like Todd Golden or Stephen Pearl. They've got to be, it's delicate because there is a chance if others start to do this, you've got to have the competitive balance, and if you've got an opportunity to go back and get JT Thor, I thought that was interesting. By the way, Stephen did a good job of covering all bases.
Yep.
Walker and Jabari would never come back because they're making massive money right now in the NBA. But his point that he hit, and I thought this was the most important point that we touched a couple of days ago, internally, what does this look like with teammates? When you go to a guy and you're like, hey, your minutes are going to be limited because we're bringing in a guy that hasn't played in this program in 3 years, and he hasn't been part of the program in the last 3 months. So I think that's where the difficult conversations come down. But ultimately, the coach is going to make the decision. And again, this is strange times we're in.
But I thought Stephen was very fair in the fact that he pointed out, look, saying that, Lance, I don't know the conversations Nate Oates and Scott Drew have had with their players. So I can only say what it would be if I were doing it. And I did notice, to your point, Lance, Stephen Pearl and Todd Golden didn't pound the table and say Nate Oates is a crook, this is a joke, we can't be doing this. Because to Jim's point, in the back of their mind, they're like, this may be the way the game is played, and I'm going to have to dive in too. Whereas Tom Izzo's like, I don't give a you-know-what. I'm going to be who I am. I'm almost done anyway. What does it matter? I'll say what I want to say. To me, that was the difference in the two statements, or the three statements there.
Well, and Todd did take it a little deeper. We're going to beat them anyway.
Yeah.
That to me, that's very, very interesting. I mean, look, the way they're playing, they've won 9 of 10. Chinaloo is out of his mind on the glass right now. And, the reason, we all know this, Bediako is playing is because Alabama doesn't have depth in their front court. And Florida's strength is their front court.
Yep.
Yeah. It is it's interesting. Alex Condon is an Australian, big player for the Florida Gators.
Right.
He's from Australia, and he played. I don't know if they get paid to play down there, but he played some club ball before he came over. That's what it comes down to. And I tweeted out, there's a great breakdown of why legally the NCAA is likely going to lose this case. And there's some legal precedents that have been set by the NCAA in these other rulings that's going to make it hard on appeal. Like, everybody expects the home judge the guy who's probably sitting courtside on Saturday night. I mean, I don't know if he is.
What if he's on the screen? What if he's on the screen waving at everybody?
Like, I do think that there is an expectation they're going to win their injunction next Tuesday. If it gets appealed, there's several different reasons why many people believe they're going to continue to win this. The Najee guy for Baylor, a couple of UConn players played at the top level of the European League, and several others, that the rules that the NCAA have already approved is what's going to prevent them from beating Alabama and Bediako if Alabama chooses to go forward with this. I'm still not of the belief Bediako is going to play. I'm going to wait and see here. I don't know. I still don't know if Greg Byrne and the president of the school and the boosters involved, if they will sign off and say, okay, let's really do this. Let's really do this and put him on the floor. We'll see if that happens.
Yeah. By the way, Nate Oates meets the media
today
at 12:30. So
yes,
watch our social media for Nate's reaction to this.
Yeah. I can't wait to see what's happening.
Yeah.
All right. That's Bediako for right now. Dane Bradshaw on the other side talking about tough challenge for Bama as they host Tennessee, Bradshaw's old school. Auburn at Florida in an uphill battle for the Tigers, and a lot more in college basketball being brought to you by our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. UCA gets you rolling. when it comes to your health, guys. Also, the opportunity for you to do everything from prostate health to kidney stones, vasectomies when you get to that point in life. They've been doing this for over 70 years with great compassion and the unbelievable urologists who are there working for them. To get all the details you need about 16 locations near you, Urology Centers Alabama.com, 205-930-0920 to make an appointment.
And a great idea for lunch with this cold, rainy weather. What about a nice, hearty scoop of dirty rice, a spoonful of slow-cooked Cajun pintos, a layer of melty cheese, and your choice of chicken? That's what you get with that chicken rice bowl. It's back at Bojangles. Hearty and all yours for just $7.49. Don't wait too long. It's back for just a limited time. So if you're hungry, you know where to go. Drive-thru's always open. Make it Bo time.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter at Scott Forrester TV.
From driveways to interstates, accidents happen fast. The insurance company's response? Here's our offer. Take it or leave it. Leave it. Call Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys. Over 250,000 clients. And no, they don't accept lowball offers. They fight. They win. Over $2 billion recovered. Call now for a free consultation. 659-777-7777 or alexwins.law. Physical office location, Birmingham.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
It's the O'Reilly Auto Parts World of Wheels, January 30th through February 1st at the BJCC with customs, classics, hot rods, and more. Don't miss the Golden Riders motorcycle stunt team, plus BMX stunt teams performing outrageous stunts live. Friday, meet WWE star Rikishi. Saturday is Kevin Mack from Counts Customs. And Sunday, meet TV host Courtney Hansen. Bring the kids for free Hot Wheels racing, costume characters, rides, and more. Get discount tickets at all O'Reilly Auto Parts stores. Details at worldofwheels.net.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit UrologyCentersAlabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
It's Bo time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's Bo time. It's Bo time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
One nuance to that college football playoff, sticking at 12 teams, is that all 4 major conference champions, a little tweak from last year to this year, will be in the playoff field. That means this year, no Miami. It would have been Duke.
Yeah. That would have changed things.
Yeah. So just we'll get back to the playoffs, but a big basketball weekend, Tennessee, Alabama, Auburn at Florida, and a lot of other huge games going on around the country.
Yeah, I promise we're actually going to talk about the on-the-court product that Tennessee and Alabama will have and not all the stuff going on around Alabama with Dane Bradshaw of the SEC Network, who joins us now on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline, though. As we have on all our SEC Network guys, I do have to make sure they are out of eligibility just in case. Are you out of eligibility, Dane? Did you expire it all at Tennessee?
Yeah, but I used it all, and I don't think I'm a threat. And if there was any eligibility left, I haven't gotten any phone calls, surprisingly.
Okay. All right.
But I would say with this Tennessee team, something's missing. This doesn't look like Coach Barnes' teams of recent years. What's the difference about this Tennessee team that's coming to play Alabama this weekend than the ones we've seen the last couple of years?
Yeah, they're a little bit better offensively at the point guard spot. You guys will remember Zakai Ziegler that was there for 4 years. He was the head of the snake. He was all defense, one of the top defenders in the country. But he was a little bit limited offensively. He could still make plays, whereas this year they got a great scorer in Jacoby Gillespie. But the trade-off there is he's not a natural point guard. He's more of a scoring guard, so he's learning that position a little bit more, and not the defender that Zakai Ziegler was. So that while they still have a top 20 defense, it's not the really position by position. It's really not as intimidating, I would say, as maybe a year ago. Just they still have some rim protection down low with Felix Agparo, so they've got to get a little bit better defensively. That's what's helped them beat Alabama over the years, is because they just they get so physical. I know Nate Oates says, look, the refs don't call the fouls against Tennessee in the regular season like they do in the NCAA tournament, and maybe he has a point, but that physicality with all the great action that Nate Oates runs has benefited Tennessee. So I'm really anxious to see if they can disrupt Alabama the way they have in years past, despite not being maybe having that exact same personnel. And then they get, I heard Seth Greenberg say this pretty good the other day. He said, look, this Tennessee offense gets stuck a little bit, and they'll swing the ball around, and then it's like, hey, Jacoby Gillespie, come get it at the end of the shot clock and make something happen. And so I think it creates some difficult late shot clock situations.
All joking about Bediako aside, though, I mean, Rick Barnes has to dedicate some time preparing for him, right? I mean, Nate Oates is going to meet the media later today. Perhaps Nate will say he's not going to play, but Nate has not said that yet as Tennessee is preparing for this game. And if you're Rick Barnes, how much effort do you have to give to tell your guys, look, they got a guy that hasn't played there in 2 years that might show up, so we got to be ready for him?
Yeah, I think really what you do is they're going to go through film. They'll have the personnel, and they'll go through Phylon's clips, and then they'll go through everyone else's, and then they're going to pull up their 2023 scouting report on Bediako and say, hey, here's what we know about this guy. And be prepared. And so I'm sure that's what they're going through right now. And as you guys, I know, I'm sure have talked on, look, he was efficient around the rim. He wasn't somebody that did a lot of play calling for, but was a good offensive rebounder. Biggest thing was being a shot blocker, rim protector down low, which is something Alabama needs. And Nate Oates, as much credit as he gets for his offense, his best teams are ones that have that complementary basketball where they're top 20 in both offense and defense. And so it's been madness for sure, but look, I think Rick Barnes is going to say we're going to play whoever's there, but our game plan against Alabama really isn't going to change much, even though he could certainly be a factor. It could be a difference between a win and a loss. I totally agree, but it's not as if it's getting like say Mark Sears came back, where it's a whole different one-on-one personnel type thing out there on the perimeter.
Speaking of no Mark Sears, what have you seen specifically from Phylon and Holloway this year that is different than when Mark Sears was part of that offense. Has it freed them up a little bit, in your opinion? And what do you make of Philon and Holloway's game?
I think so. I think they've played pretty well together. And, Philon being able to take that big jump in year 2 is much easier said than done. I'll be the first to admit. Between he and Pettiford, those were two guys with a ton of hype going into their sophomore season. I go back and check. I don't think I had them projected on my first team All SEC, just because I've seen over the years, when freshmen that have a lot of hype go to their sophomore year, you get either that sophomore slump, or maybe it was just too unfair and too high of expectations based off a promising freshman year. But Philon he's brought it. Pettiford struggled a little bit at Auburn, but Philon has essentially had no struggles. And Holloway's a guy I've just really liked his growth over the years. To see him previously as more of a spot up shooter, a guy could spread the court, but other than that, you weren't really worried about him getting to the rim, and seeing the crafty finishes these guys have around the basket. As y'all know, y'all followed Oates' offense. It's really about putting pressure on the rim first, and that's what you got to take away if you're the defense. Take away those rim and paint touches, because that's where they really kill you, is on the kick out, spray out 3 balls.
Dane Bradshaw, SEC Network, with us, at Dane Bradshaw on social media. He's on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline. You mentioned Pettiford and Auburn. They are at Florida Saturday, Dane, and they cannot throw it in the ocean from beyond the arc. As you watch them, is it just they don't particularly have great shooters? You think it's just slump? Can they fix this? I mean, it's got to get better. It cannot get any worse. It's got to get better, right?
I know it. I think on the bright side is the fact that they've won the past 2 games, going 4 for 36, I think, combined from 3, especially in today's age where scoring is so high and offense is through the roof. To be able to win games like that and not have the 3 ball as a weapon at all, I think big picture, as long as it doesn't continue that bad, big picture, I think this helps create that identity for Auburn to say, hey, look, maybe our higher ceiling is on the defensive end, and let's figure out how to win games through toughness and rebounding. And then if the 3 ball gets going, now you got to look out for them. But look, these guys they're a couple plays away from us being like, wow, Auburn's at the top of the league right now. They lose that game in overtime at Georgia. They have that heartbreaker against A&M, with a 10th of a second left. So I've been pretty impressed by the way Auburn has been able to defend and win games, even when they're not playing their best offensively. But I had them last week against Ole Miss when they had come off that first poor shooting night, and Stephen Pearl said, look, all but maybe 4 of our 3-point attempts were good looks. We just and I don't know if y'all seen the setup for the broadcasters at Ole Miss, but it's an odd one. It's over there. It's right by the visiting team. So oftentimes I've got an awful view because the opposing coach is standing right in front of my way. And after they missed about the 10th 3 or whatever, Stephen Pearl just turns around and just yells to the bench like, guys, we got to make a effing shot. There's at some point, it's not like coaching, it's not strategy. And they run a lot of set plays. And what I like about that is typically a team that runs a lot of set plays, in my opinion, when you expect to get the ball in a certain spot, I think mentally you're a little bit more prepared, and your shooting percentage goes up because, hey, this is where we get the drive to the wing and I'm going to flare out or whatever, as opposed to a motion offense where you're going to get open, you're just not sure when and where. But that hadn't proven to be the case here the past few games for Auburn.
Which Keyshawn has to have a big game for them to have a chance of getting upset? Keyshawn Murphy or Keyshawn Hall?
Boy, I'm not sure you can win this game without both of them playing at their best, because you've got to have the physicality. I think Keyshawn Hall is going to have to really finish through contact, not just try to get fouled. He's so good at getting to the free throw line, but I'm telling you, these Florida bigs are really good about just jumping straight up, being vertical. And so you go flying in there, and I can just about guarantee you, leading up to this game, the Florida bigs are working on somebody driving at their chest, them jumping straight up in the air, contesting without fouling. And so can Keyshawn Hall finish through contact, even if he doesn't get the and one, go to the free throw line? He's got to be able to finish at the rim. And then Murphy's got to be a man's man, because these Florida bigs are physical. I'm really looking forward to Jovic, because look, he was a guy that was leaning towards Florida, from what I understand. Alex Condon came back. It was a little bit, they were a little bit too deep there, but he kind of fit that tough guy, even though he doesn't have as big of a size as those guys. But he fit that Florida DNA, and you need some of that Florida DNA in your own program if you're going to take down the Gators.
How close to a bubble team do you think Auburn is right now? Because I keep seeing all these early projections for the NCAA tournament. We have a lot of games left, and most of them have them, 9 or 10 seed area, and that's close to the bubble. Do you think Auburn will be safely in the tournament by the time we get to the end of the year, or do you think they'll be around that bubble line?
No, I do. I think even if you go on they've got a tough stretch right now. Obviously, Florida, Texas, Tennessee, Bama, Vanderbilt, Arkansas. Wow. I mean, I haven't looked at everybody else's schedule, but that is a gauntlet. But even if you lose a few in a row, because the quality of losses and quality of competition is so high in the SEC, your metrics, aren't going to get damaged too much. So yes, they've got to win. They can't lose all those games against quality opponents, but the bigger thing is pick off 1 or 2 of those and win the games you're supposed to win. Take care of the Mississippi State, take care of Oklahoma, take care of LSU, and then I think they'll be fine. And I think they've proven they can game plan and strategy against some teams that may on paper be a little bit more talented than them.
All right, he is Dane Bradshaw. Follow him on social media at Dane Bradshaw. See him on the SEC Network throughout the college basketball season and on ESPN as well. Sometimes stuck behind a visiting coach in Oxford, Mississippi, but he still does a great job even then. Thank you, Dane. Always great talking with you. Have a good weekend.
Awesome. Y'all too. Thanks a lot.
All right, buddy. Take care. Dane with us on the Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys Hotline.
All right. Before we do the college football spotlight today, the show being brought to you by our friends at Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. Leslie and her board-certified team. Just a tremendous – I tell you what, Forrest, really quickly, just pop me back up. Eating at a local restaurant, that new area close to your house, Brownie. So I went by the one that serves Mexican food there.
Okay,
can we say Little Donkey on the air?
I don't know. No.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
whatever.
Yeah, Eric watches our show, loves our show. I didn't order them, but all of a sudden a big plate of churros for my daughter, her boyfriend, Maggie, and me show up. And it ends up being absolutely delicious. Like I said, press box churro, which I didn't think had any filling in it out there. It just was a big crusty.
Yeah, I don't remember.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
This one had like something on the inside of it. I enjoyed it, so I think I'm a churro guy.
Okay,
now. Yeah.
Congrats. Welcome to the churros.
Yeah. Do you like them?
Yeah,
Are you a churro guy?
Not really. I mean, I don't hate them. I don't love them. I don't seek a churro out.
Yeah.
But if a churro's in front of me, I'll eat it. Now, I will say they're a bit messy.
Yeah.
All that cinnamon, sugar falls off.
Behind the glass, churros or no churros? I'm just not a guy that usually orders them. You, Tyler, first.
Love a good churro from the wholesale superstore grocery store by the mall.
Yeah.
They've got them for $1 in their food
they're
court.
known for them, and they're quite large.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Quite large.
They are. Yeah, it's a big churro.
What
Even
about
better? Sopapillas.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a fried tortilla with cinnamon sugar and honey drizzled on top.
All right. Okay. See, the last thing I ever do when I go to a Mexican restaurant is think about dessert.
Me and you both. I've never had dessert at a Mexican
Like, I don't even know
restaurant.
what fried ice cream is, but I see it all the time on these menus.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. Go with the sopapilla.
Forrester, are you a churro guy? I bet you were at the national championship game where we had churros in the press box.
Jim, I cannot tell you when the last time I had a churro was.
That's a no.
Me too. I've only done it one time, and it was anti-churro. When they came to the table last night, I even said, I was like, well, thank you very much. And then they walked away, and I was like,
Put Scott down for no.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, from a vague recollection, I thought they were all right.
Yeah. What about you, Brooks? Anti-churro?
They're okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
you're not going to get anybody to jump on board,
a
apparently.
lot of indifference on the churro, Jim.
I mean,
No.
We're fired up.
Yeah, Maggie said, man, you were fired up about that churro. And I said, well, first of all, I think I was fired up that the guy liked our show.
That helped, yes.
And I got free churros. You know, the best churros? The
It's
free
a free
churros.
one. Yeah, it's the right price.
Yeah,
for sure.
but it turns out, would I order them again? Probably not. Probably not. I mean, I'd rather have a cheesecake. I'd rather have ice cream.
Somebody
I'd
in the
rather
chat
have
room
pie.
earlier said, if I'm going to go to churro, I'm just going to get a donut. And I kind of agree with that.
That's a good point. Go donut.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of other desserts if I'm going to take that calorie in. But the good news is I can take those calories in. Tyler, how come?
Oh, because you've got your friends at Weight Wellness.
I do. A planforme.com, a planforme.com. They'll keep you at your maintained weight. After you lose the weight, they'll help jumpstart that weight loss. Leslie and her board-certified team right there for you. A planforme.com. Way to Wellness, no contracts, no sign-up fees. First consultation's free. Go check them out. Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. Let's do the spotlight, man. Hit it, Tyler.
The College Football Spotlight.
And it's the Shannara Spotlight with us every single day. Thanks to our guy, Alexander Shannara, Trial Attorneys. You know by now that Alexander Shannara handles personal injury cases. You're aware of that, right? What you might not know is he handles a variety of cases beyond that. How about fire and storm damage? Yes. How about drug and device claims? He handles those. Disability claims? Absolutely. Workers' compensation? You know it. A host of other claims. You find yourself in need of a lawyer? Call the Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. You don't pay a dime unless they win your case. Where do I start? Shannara.com. Shannara.com.
Okay, our spotlight is quickly back to the developing news that according to Pete Thamel, Ross Dellinger, we're going to stay at 12 playoff teams for 2026 with one caveat, Brownie. I mentioned it going to Dane, but let's talk more about that. Give everybody the caveat again, and then we will we'll discuss that a little bit here in our spotlight.
So here is said caveat is it does come with a little bit of, again, for the second, this is going to be the third 12-team playoff. We've changed it every year. So
I think we've made it better every year.
I would agree with you. So here are the changes in the 2026 playoff from Brett McMurphy. Auto bids to each Power 4 champion, and as he says, regardless of ranking. Auto bid to each Power 4 champion, regardless of ranking. So
they're counting on the ACC getting their tiebreaker correct.
Correct, and which is probably what the ACC has told them. Hey, we'll fix it. We know we had it screwed up. We'll fix it, right? Wouldn't you think the ACC's probably assured them of that?
Yes.
In order for them to get the guaranteed spot. So for those that may not remember a month ago, Duke won the ACC championship, but they were ranked behind James Madison. That meant that James Madison, being one of the top 5 ranked conference champions, got in front of Duke, which opened the door for Miami to get an at-large bid because they didn't have to put Duke in.
Which also left Notre Dame out.
Right? So that will not happen again. Top 5 Power 4 champs, all in, regardless of ranking. So SEC champion, Big 10 champion, Big 12 champion, ACC champion, all have a spot. Notre Dame is guaranteed an at-large bid if they are ranked in the top 12 final poll.
Okay, so that means that if a conference champion or group of 5 or 6, now that Pac-12 is coming on, is outside the top 12, getting into the automatic bid, if Notre Dame is 12,
you don't want to be 11.
That means 11, say Alabama, could get bumped for Notre Dame at 12 because Notre Dame has this fine print
that is correct.
Bid here.
That is correct. Now,
ACC champion is in, who may be 13th. Group of 5, 6 could be in because they're 21st because of their special slots. But whoever's 11 can't stay in over Notre Dame because Notre Dame's got a top 12 pass.
Right.
The fast pass for them.
Yes. So that is another tweak. I mean, we've had this will be the third year of the 12 team, and we've changed it every year. I agree we've progressively gotten it better, which is why I say let's stay at 12 for a minute and see if this is the best system. But you know, year 1, we had the seating screwed up. We fixed that for year 2. Another problem presented itself in year 2.
But if I'm Greg Sankey or Tony Petitti, I've just allowed the potential of four playoff spots being taken away from an SEC or Big Ten team that is ranked in the top 11.
So a unranked ACC,
ACC and a Big 12 outside of the top 12.
That's right.
Notre Dame at number 12 and the group of 6. So that's 4 spots that we could take away 4 SEC and Big 10 teams that are ranked 11th, 10th, 9th, and 8th.
Yeah, so this is if you follow the college football playoff and you're like, every time they make a change, something happens that you got to make another change. Here's the disaster scenario, which probably will happen, is you got a wild AC. I get the feeling, before I even say this, and to your point there, I get what you're saying, but the ACC has had to have told them we'll fix our tiebreakers.
Okay, but still, even if they fix their tiebreaker.
You could just have a crap year in the ACC and the Big 12.
Well, your champion could be 13th.
Yeah. Your nightmare could be crap season in the Big 12, crap season in the ACC. So now I've got 2 of those champions outside the top 12. Notre Dame at 12.
Which guarantees them a
That's
spot.
right. So now there's 3. You're going to lose it to the Group 5 anyway,
Yeah.
but still there's 3 more spots. So
Okay.
now all of a sudden 11, 10, and 9 are all out of this thing for teams that are ranked behind them.
Yeah.
I mean,
11, 10, 9, and 8 in
well,
your
8,
scenario.
but again, Group 5 was getting in either way, but I see what you're saying. Yeah. I mean, 9, who was in the 8-9 game? Oh, it was Alabama and Oklahoma.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
That's how high we're going in this.
With the parity in the SEC, it's SEC teams, I think, are going to be the collateral damage in these changes, which is why I think the SEC is comfortable with 16, 5 of this nuance of everything else, and then the best teams available. I'd say we've created a system where you're going to leave out a lot of teams who are better football teams, regardless of conference.
Yeah.
For the auto bids,
Yeah,
and that's why going to 16 was so important to Greg Sankey. Okay, all the conference champions, the Group of 5 in Notre Dame, they're 6. We still got 10 wild card spots here. That you're gonna soak up anybody there that's good enough. That's a good enough football team to be bitching and moaning about being in. You're going to soak them up with 10 wild cards. That's why 16 is such a good number.
Right. I agree with you on that. Yeah.
Meanwhile, in this scenario, the one I just gave you, it is a very realistic possibility that you're sitting here leaving out the 9th, 10th, and 11th best teams, likely all 3 SEC teams.
I mean, it could be, yeah. I mean, this year it would have been an ACC team and an SEC team. It's hard to say what the other one would have been because James Madison ate up that spot, so I don't know what conference that would have been. It would have probably been independent Notre Dame, honestly. So ACC independent and all that. Or actually, in this setup, Notre Dame would have gotten in. I guess it would have been another SEC. It would have been Vandy or Texas.
Just give me mine or Brownie's preseason projection.
The 12 we did?
The way too early 12 for this year. And let's just take away 8, 9, and 10.
Okay.
Just blind draw. 8, 9, or 10 is removed because of the scenario I painted.
Who we got there? That's you.
That is me. So no USC. Texas Tech would be in because they're a Big 12. So no Indiana, no Alabama, no USC. So 2 Big 10 actually in mine got whacked. Can I see Browns? As I try to make my SEC point, maybe Browns will make my SEC point.
Maybe I went heavier SEC?
Yeah. I actually put a big hole in the side of the Big 10. For you, we'd lose Oklahoma. We'd lose, is Miami your highest ACC? They are,
number 6, yeah.
So we'd lose, for you, we would lose Oklahoma, we'd lose Alabama, and we'd lose Texas A&M.
Jim, what if we just redid this year's bracket under the current format?
Okay.
Notre Dame would have gotten in over Miami because of the clause.
Correct.
Right.
And
Miami would have been out because Duke would have been in.
Correct.
Yeah,
so Duke would have been where JMU was as the 12th seed, and then Miami gets bumped by Notre Dame, a team that beat them, or a team they beat with the exact same record, and we don't have Miami who went to the national championship.
Right. Not just went to, they had ball in hand driving to win the national championship.
Correct.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
we're just completely bypassing on the field play to add Notre Dame in because they have this clause that they're in as a top 12
But
team.
there again, and Notre Dame obviously fought for this, but keep in mind, the committee controls the rankings. So if they don't think Notre Dame needs to be in this thing, Notre Dame's 13th, not 12th.
That's
right.
So
I get wound up. I'm not wound up about any of them, but I care less about the Notre Dame one because that can easily be controlled. Conference champion, that's going to be played out on the field. You can't control that with rankings. It does not matter where they are ranked. Now, it could be out of the poll, as Duke was, and they're in the college football playoff. I do not like that aspect of it.
Okay, there you go. There's it's the old poking holes into the system as the news comes down today that the Notre Dame's in if they're in the top 12. Top 4 conference champions, regardless of rankings, in, and the Group of 5. So potentially 6 spots being eaten up automatically as we move into the new 12-team era of the playoffs, at least one more year. That from Pete Thamel, Ross Dellinger today, first to report. When we come back, Todd Fuhrman from Vegas on an NFC AFC Championship weekend show being brought to you by Central State Bank. Brownie, tell us about the fine folks there.
That is the bank that is big enough to meet every need you have in your life financially, but they are also small enough to know you because they are a community bank. Family-owned, community-focused, built on trust for more than 100 years, serving Central Alabama, counties like Shelby County, Tallapoosa County, and many others with local decisions and personal service that feels like home. So whether you are starting a business, buying a car, planning for tomorrow, Central State Bank with you every step of the way. Central State Bank, rooted in community, driven by relationships, member FDIC.
Hop in. Injured in an Uber or Lyft? Here's the problem. Was it the driver's fault? The other car? The app company? Good luck figuring that out while you're trying to heal. Alexander Shinar Trial Attorneys, they've got a guy for rideshare accidents. And here's the best part. They don't get paid unless you do. You heal. They fight. One call, 659-777-7777, or visit alexwins.law. Alexander Shinar Trial Attorneys, because rideshare accidents need an experienced team. Physical offices, Birmingham.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
It's the O'Reilly Auto Parts World of Wheels, January 30th through February 1st at the BJCC. With customs, classics, hot rods, and more. Don't miss the Golden Riders motorcycle stunt team, plus BMX stunt teams performing outrageous stunts live. Friday, meet WWE star Rikishi. Saturday is Kevin Mack from Counts Customs. And Sunday, meet TV host Courtney Hansen. Bring the kids for free Hot Wheels racing, costume characters, rides, and more. Get discount tickets at all O'Reilly Auto Parts stores. Details at worldofwheels.net.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the next round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the next round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the next round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness. Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round. presented by Bud Light, is on now.
All the Bediako talk in the first hour of the show, all the talk about the college football playoffs, sticking at 12 in the first hour of the show. Fernando Mendoza declares for the NFL. We've touched on that in the first hour of the show. And we've talked Auburn, Florida, Tennessee, Alabama, actual games on the court in the first hour. Let's move now to the NFC, AFC Championship weekend. By the way, as we do that, Jesse Minter is the new head coach of the Baltimore Ravens. So good job for him as he gets his first head coaching job. Now, I don't think he's from the Sean McVay tree, Jesse Minter.
Minter.
He is not.
Okay, so here we go.
Lance is the official keeper of the Sean McVay tree. He says no.
So finally, we've moved away from the McVay tree with an NFL coaching hire at a pretty good job there. Furman's with us from Vegas. Is he with us?
He is.
All
Furman
right.
is there. Lance is in Seattle. Furman, big game I hear in Seattle this weekend. Lance is there.
So I've been told that there's a lot at stake for the right to go to Santa Clara and play for the Lombardi Trophy, despite the Rams' best effort to kind of give the game away, so to speak, last weekend in Chicago. Here they are, and I think it's the game that every football fan should want to see, the rubber match between two teams who are arguably the best, not just in their own division in the NFC, but maybe in the entire league for the majority of the season.
Yeah, and Furman, I mean, the Rams are kind of limping into this thing. I mean, they're in the NFC Championship, but they're 4-3 in their last 7. They haven't played well. They haven't covered either one of their postseason games. Do you feel like with Seattle winning 41-6, that did inflate this number just a bit? I mean, if you go back to the Thursday night crazy game in Lumen last month, Seattle was a 1.5-point favorite. They ended up winning on the 2-point conversion. But I thought this thing would be more in line with Seattle 1.5 again. But based on the Rams struggling a little bit, letting Chicago back in that game at Seattle, blowing out San Francisco, do you think it's inflated just a little bit?
No doubt about it. The optics of recent performances changed the dynamic in play, and it's part of the reason that we saw the Seahawks actually open a full field goal favorite in this game. Of course, that 3 didn't last all that long. You had bettors who thought that was a bridge too far, grabbing the 3, figuring there was a much better chance that the number would trend towards 2.5 than going through the 3 out to 3.5. At 2.5, it's had pretty good two-way action from a lot of the books that I've spoken to, because I think people are trying to balance that exact question that you proposed there, Lance, looking at Seattle, knowing that they've beaten up on the 49ers in each of their last 2 games. They were dominant against the Carolina Panthers on the road in Charlotte. And those are the only 3 data points we have for Seattle since they beat the Rams in overtime on that Thursday night game that kind of changed the dynamic of home field advantage in the NFC playoffs. Meanwhile, on the flip side of things, the Rams are playing on the road for the 3rd straight week in the playoffs, an offense that hasn't looked nearly as explosive as what we've grown accustomed to. But credit the Rams. They found a way to win last week against the Bears, not playing their best game. Sean McVay kind of went away from the ground and pound attack that I think would have been a little bit more successful. And maybe most importantly for the Rams, defensively, we kind of saw them raise that level of performance for the first time in recent weeks, something they're going to have to carry over in this game against the Seahawks team that has a laundry list of questions they have to answer along that offensive line, specifically at that left tackle position, how they'll distribute carries in the backfield with Kenneth Walker being the bell cow, or will we see a little bit more of George Halani, and the Sam Darnold oblique issue that really wasn't put to the test given the positive game state in Seattle's inability, or I guess weren't really forced to throw the ball downfield against the 49ers last weekend.
Todd Fuhrman with us, CBS Sports, and Todd Fuhrman on social media is on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline. This field, Lumen Field in Seattle, gets the notoriety of being the most difficult place in the NFL to play on the road. Dan Orlovsky on our show for his weekly visit yesterday agreed with that. He said it's a really, really difficult place to play. So I ask you, how much do you give Seattle for home field when it comes to handicapping a game like this?
Normally in this kind of situation, it would be towards the top end of my spectrum. I'd give Seattle a full field goal for home field given the electricity that'll be in the building. But I think some of that gets nullified given the familiarity the Rams have going into this building on a regular basis. Now, I'm not going to say a regular season game played that Thursday night, even for everything that was at stake, will be as dynamic a home field as what you're going to see here. But it's a lot different than a team that only makes the trip out to the Pacific Northwest, once every 4 or 5 years. So I downgraded a little bit. I have Seattle a 2-point home field advantage for this game here. Seattle slightly better on a neutral field when you factor in all those different components. but I also have downgraded the Seattle offense a little bit, and it's part of the reason why I'm largely in line with this number being in that 2.5 range, and would be more than thrilled to be able to back the Rams as a 3-point underdog. But as it stands right now, haven't gotten involved on a side, would be more inclined to look at Seattle's offense struggling a little bit. And I think betting their team total under 24.5 is probably the best angle to take from a side or total in this contest.
We can get back to the Rams and Seahawks in a second, but obviously the big storyline in Patriots-Broncos is Jarrett Stidham getting his first start of the year, the first quarterback. The only other quarterback to do that was Roger Staubach in 1972. For those of you that were not sitting in front of your small little televisions in 1972, Roger Staubach, in the playoff game before the NFC Championship game, replaced Craig Morton because Morton sucked at the time and Staubach was more effective. So it wasn't because of injury Staubach got the start. He was just a better quarterback at the time. How come this point spread is so small with Stidham getting his first start of the year, not because of performance, but because of injury?
And no respect done away to the Jarrett Stidham Auburn truthers out there. I don't think Roger Staubach and what he accomplished in his NFL career is going to be similar to Jarrett Stidham. So we can get that out of the way before we try and break down this particular handicap. This is a game where Denver projected about a 1.5 point favorite if it was going to be Bo Nix matched up against this current form of the New England Patriots. Of course, Bo Nix suffers that unfortunate broken ankle in the second to last play in overtime. And here we are with a unique situation where Jarrett Stidham is going to take his first snaps of the season and be asked to throw his first passes since 2023 against this New England defense. Before the year started, I would have made about a 3 3/4 point adjustment from Jarrett Stidham to Bo Nix. So call it 3.75 for argument's sake. I think Bo Nix has improved his level of play this year, which made it a little bit more valuable. For me, pushed it north of 4 into that 4.5 range. The biggest question outside of the quarterback drop-off is, can this Denver defense regain some of the form that we expected to see from them? Because you dig into the numbers for the stop unit over the last month or so, and it hasn't truly been elite. Yes, they can get after opposing quarterbacks, but they've been a little bit vulnerable against the run, which I'm sure the Patriots are going to look to test. And they've been victimized by some of the bigger explosive plays when you look at some of the opposing quarterbacks they face. So some interesting dynamics there. This number did open as high as 6 at some shops. Immediately, much like the Rams and Seahawks game, you had value bettors taking the 6 with the Broncos, thinking that that was going to be the best price on the dog. We've now kind of settled in no man's land, 4.5, 5, 5.5, the prevailing price tag there. But I think the move that'll surprise some people that don't pay attention to the betting markets on a day-in, day-out basis is this total opened as low as 40.5, and we're now up to 43 at one of the most prominent offshore books that take some of the larger limits. And I think a big reason behind that is because the jolt to the system that the New England Patriots defense is going to see. When you look at the Patriots' first 2 wins in the postseason, and they shouldn't have to apologize to anybody for a soft regular season schedule or taking care of the Chargers and Texans, ESPN has a tremendous metric called the pass block and run block win rate. The Chargers and Texans are outside the top 30 in both of those categories. Last I checked, there were only 32 teams in the National Football League, so that's not very good. Meanwhile, Denver is top 10. So this Patriots defense that has looked phenomenal in terms of generating a pass rush and being able to stop the run is going to find things a lot more difficult on the road in hostile territory than what we've seen. And I think that's the interesting element of the handicap, that if Jarrett Stidham can do enough of what's asked of him, they should be able to run the ball a little bit and maybe give him some time in the pocket to pick apart a Patriots secondary that's a little bit vulnerable after Christian Gonzalez.
Hey, Fuhrman, I'm going to assume the 4 participants in championship weekend, going back to the preseason, they weren't like heavy played as far as futures to win Super Bowl 60. But what about any liabilities like in the season with any of these 4 teams for any of the books you've talked to?
I haven't heard much in the way of 6 or even 7-figure losses that books will suffer here. The Rams were a very popular pick way back in the spring, but some of that enthusiasm and excitement was tempered around all of those injury concerns around Matthew Stafford's back. I know we discussed it, guys. It was a team that we thought could be very good, just didn't want to tie up money long term. Probably wish I had a 30-1 ticket on the Rams sitting in my pocket here. And me personally, I actually bet the Seahawks regular season win total under 8.5. Little to say, I didn't exactly assess them to be this good coming into the year. They were around that 50 to 60-1 range, but they weren't a buy-on team. And New England and Denver, not really major surprises by any stretch. The Broncos came into the season with a win total in that 8.5, 9 range, if not as high as 9.5. And the Patriots, despite having the horrific experience last year during the Gerard Mayo tenure, you did have a win total for New England that was 8.5, and they projected to be favored in 11 games. So books, for the most part, have done a pretty good job kind of limiting some of the liability here. Of course, there'll no doubt be a shop or two that has a little bit, whether it's a big casino player that came in and placed a bet at bigger numbers that were out there, but don't know any massive liability that exists to go into these 4 teams.
Keith in the chat room says, ask Fuhrman, is this a good week to look at a teaser? Broncos plus 10.5, Rams plus 8.5. Dunaway.
How easy would that be?
How easy does that sound?
Can see it being a play that is extremely attractive. It's not what I would call an optimal teaser, given the fact that you're not taking Denver through multiple key numbers like you're typically looking to do. The Rams, though, however, fit the bill. They are typically a perfect teaser leg, knowing that you get them through the 3, the 4, the 6, and the 7. The problem being at this juncture of the campaign, you don't exactly have a ton of options. So I'd be much more inclined to use those 2 combinations in a teaser than any of the other permutations that would be out there.
I love the way Fuhrman thinks about that stuff.
Interesting.
We just look at the numbers. Fuhrman's like, yeah, there's way more than that.
For you in Vegas, do you consider the NFC Championship game the Super Bowl? Is there any scenario in your metrics and numbers that the AFC champion can win the Super Bowl?
I'm not going to discount New England. If they were to get to that game, they would have a big road win against the Denver Broncos on their resume as well, and 2 weeks to prepare against the Rams or Seahawks. Now, Sean McVay has been on this stage before with Matthew Stafford. At the same time, you'd have a high level of inexperience for the Seattle Seahawks. Mike McDonald never having been a head coach in a game of that magnitude, and Sam Darnold still having plenty of questions to answer. So I'm not going to say it's a de facto Super Bowl. What I will say, though, is whoever wins the NFC game will open as more than a field goal favorite, barring something unique happening against either participant from the AFC. And if you're looking at the projected numbers for a Rams or Seattle matchup against the Denver Broncos, that would kind of hang out in no man's land north of a touchdown, 7.5 to 9.5, subject to a little bit of variance based on the results we'll see this weekend. And for me right now, I would open Seattle and the Rams right around a 3.5-point favorite against the Patriots, but we'll be willing to go to 3 if we saw either of those teams struggle, deal with an injury, and the Patriots go into Denver and look absolutely dominant in a 60-minute performance.
And Fuhrman, I went through a handful of props last night, one that I did not see, and I was going to ask you specifically. But if you go back, I think it's 373 days now when Darnold was playing for the Vikings in the wild card round against the Rams in Glendale last year because of the fires, and then the 2 meetings this year. He's got 7 picks in those 3 games. What is a prop on Darnold? Usually it's -0.5. I mean, do you put this at -1.5 interceptions? For Darnold, have you seen anything in that realm?
You can't quite go that high. The yes-no prop on Sam Darnold, which to your point, LT, is the over-under -0.5. It's -$1.55 to the yes that Sam Darnold will throw an interception in this game. If you like to live a little bit more adventurously and think he could throw 2 or more, the price that I saw was 5.5 or 6 to 1. Kind of joked on social media last week that I had shopped around, couldn't find C.J. Stroud to throw 5+ interceptions in a game, and even have the closest semblance to an idea of what that price would be. But, yep, Sam Darnold is a favorite to throw a pick in this game, but he's nowhere close to Jarrett Stidham, who at last check was right around -$1.90 to get picked off. I feel, if anything, then no on that particular prop offers a little bit of opportunity and upside.
All right, 2 quick hoops questions before you go. Auburn will be how big of an underdog at Florida Saturday?
Look, this is a Florida team that has really started to figure things out, and so you do wonder in this kind of spot. For me, I have Florida projected right around a 9-point favorite in this game. Florida's power rating has gradually increased. The team has struggled to the non-conference, but starting to look a lot more dynamic and, to a certain extent, like a legitimate championship threat. Now, I do have to take Stephen Pearl's comment seriously, though. If they're going to bring back players that have already declared for the NBA and have logged pro minutes, that truly changes the dynamic in terms of how we should be handicapping Auburn basketball going forward.
So that takes me to my next question. In your power rankings, Alabama, if Bediako plays the rest of the season, we don't even know. There's a Tuesday the court date that will decide some of this, but if he plays the rest of the season, how does that impact Alabama in your eyes, adding Bediako in?
It's going to have to try and dig in a little bit deeper and figure out where he would stack up in the rotation, the kind of minutes that we would see Nate Oates give him. I would probably look to bump Alabama a point if we thought he was going to get substantial burn, and then do a little bit more of a deep dive to figure out exactly what that could mean to raising the ceiling for an Alabama team that, in my opinion, is starting to figure things out. I know it's a team that people have kind of looked at as a little bit of an afterthought given their 13-5 record, but you go through the resume and the 5 losses they have. I mean, maybe the only bad loss is against Texas. The game against Vandy hasn't exactly held up, but Vanderbilt's a little bit more injured now than what it was. I think Alabama will be just fine. So a point maximum if we thought Bediako was going to start to gain major minutes in Nate Oates' rotation.
All right, there you go. Todd Fuhrman, CBS Sports. At Todd Fuhrman on social media. Thank you, Fuhrman. Have a great week. It's a weekend. It is always great talking with you.
Always a pleasure, gentlemen, and it's nice of you guys to allow LT to go out there and watch his Rams in person. Hopefully you guys don't have to provide a shoulder to cry on when he's back in the office on Monday or Tuesday.
Or bail money if it goes bad at the game. Well, let's hope we don't have to do that either. See you, Fuhrman. Thank you. Todd Fuhrman with us on the Alexander Shinara and Trial Attorneys Hotline.
And the show being brought to you, one of you guys tell me about Sleep Home Alabama, man. CPAP Plus, that's fantastic.
Yeah, 5 locations throughout the beautiful state of Alabama, 3 specifically right there in Birmingham, Pelham, Trussville, Highway 280. Look, you need the 8 hours of sleep. I got about 3 last night. Very important for your health. If you're not getting it, go see our friends Woody and Joe O'Neill at CPAP Plus and O'Neill Medical. They can help. They've got the best CPAP equipment, all in stock, available now. Stop into one of those great locations, or you can always go online, O'NeillMed.com. That is ONEAL med.com.
It is back in Birmingham next weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the BJCC North, South, and East Exhibition Halls. It is the O'Reilly Auto Parts World of Wheels 55th edition Friday. WWE wrestler Rikishi on stage signing autographs 4 to 7. Saturday, it is Kevin Mack from Counts Customs signing autographs on stage. And then Sunday, TV host and personality Courtney Hansen. She'll be there signing some autographs, taking photos with all of you there at the World of Wheels. You can get tickets at the door, but you can also get discount tickets at any O'Reilly Auto Parts store. The 55th annual O'Reilly Auto Parts World of Wheels Custom Auto Show, Friday through Sunday next weekend at the BJCC, 3 to 9 Friday, 9 to 10 Saturday, and 10 to 6 on Sunday. You could see more, worldofwheels.net for the O'Reilly Auto Parts World of Wheels, worldofwheels.net.
To quote the great Taylor Swift, he's my lover. We've got to ask Lance after he listens to this soundbite from Cooper Kupp on facing his old team, the LA Rams. Here's Cooper.
We all have a story. All these guys here that are step on this field, they've all had a story to get them to this point. They've all had a journey of what this year's been for them, what the last few years have been to come to this point. Mine is just one of 53 that are going to be on that field. And in my story, this is an unbelievable storyline. The chances that this ends up being what it is, and I'm really excited about that. But this is the Seahawks going into an NFC Championship game and trying to get the job done. And so that's the great thing about football. It's all these guys. All these guys have different stories, and we all get to play for one another. I mean, it's a powerful thing when all 50 guys are playing for a why, playing for their purpose. But it's even more powerful when you're playing for the guys next to you, and you're playing for the people that are lining up alongside you. And that's what I'm excited about is the guys that are in this room that, man, you want to go out there and win for. The coaches that have put so much time into this that you want to go and execute your job for. And, we've got a lot of guys that live that, they're about it. And that's what makes this a really exciting thing for me.
Lance, here's Cooper Kupp, one of the great Rams of all time on this show, one of the guys you absolutely loved his time in the LA uniform, and now he could be one of the guys standing in the way of another trip. Your emotions of seeing Cooper Kupp maybe having a big game against your Rams defense.
Puka Nacua have had this year. I go back to 2021, where Cooper Kupp led the NFL in receptions, receiving yards, and touchdowns. And I really thought, I know it's a quarterback's award, but I really believed in 2021 he deserved the MVP. You guys watched it, and in that Super Bowl, in Super Bowl 56, like once Odell Beckham went down in the second quarter, Cincinnati knew exactly where Stafford was going with the football, and they couldn't do anything about 10. Look, he's definitely, the production has dropped off. One of the reasons the Rams moved away from him, and he is more of a fourth option right now for this Seattle team. And 2 regular season meetings this year against the Rams, 6 receptions, a little over 60 yards, and no touchdowns. Love me some Cooper Kupp. Hasn't been a big factor, but you just never know when he's going to get that one grab that moves the chains, or, a red zone touchdown. But, he's one of the greatest Rams in St. Louis and / Los Angeles history.
I was going to ask, Dunaway, without Lance chiming in, do you think you or I could build Lance's Rams Mount Rushmore? I think
I'm going to write 4 names down. You do it real quick, and then we'll let him tell us the Mount Rushmore. LT, while we're doing this, tell us about Hemp Hill Services. You can do that on the fly there while I write down the people in no particular order that'll be on your Mount Rushmore for the Rams.
205-229-2090. Our friends at Hemp Hill Services, best in the business. Look, you don't like making these phone calls. The heat's not, keeping up with this bad weather right now in Birmingham. You've got plumbing issues. You hate making the call, but you want to rely on somebody that's going to get the job done. They're going to do it fairly. They're going to do it quickly. That is our friends at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there. When you make that phone call, tell them the next round sent you. Hard to stop a train. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
I asked this because I thought Kupp was on there at one point. Like, I think Kupp had a spot or was close to getting a spot on this Mount Rushmore.
Don't influence it.
Sorry, Jim.
Gosh, you ruined everything, man. Come
on.
My
apologies.
Let him talk. Okay. LT, you're Mount Rushmore, which I know in Los Angeles things are bigger, but we're going to hold you to 4 spaces.
I think I've got it.
Man, it is so tough. So let me say this. One of my favorite players ever, and I just think it was too abbreviated, and he went to 2 Super Bowls. He won an MVP, and he won a Super Bowl championship.
Don't say
Super Bowl 34. Marshall Faulk.
He's on
Marshall Faulk was incredible. I can't put him on there. Not enough longevity.
All right, woo! I've survived.
Oh, I had Faulk on there for you.
I do not have Faulk.
How can you not have Faulk on there?
I think when I tell you, I'm going to probably surprise you with a couple. And look, most of this is going to be. Well, I'll tell you this. All this is going to be St. Louis up. So I'm not going back. Well, no, there's one. There's one that I'll.
Right here at the top of my list is the one. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not going to go the Deacon Jones, the Jack Youngbloods.
No, don't insult us with that. No.
Yeah. Okay. So first, everybody, I know both of you guys got Aaron Donald, number 99. On there.
That was the easiest one. Yes.
Oh, I do not. I do not.
Jim, Aaron Donald. He almost cried the day he retired out of the blue.
No, I do not have Aaron Donald.
No, that was easy.
Well, I think Aaron Donald is arguably the best Ram of all time.
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford has got to be there. He is by far not even close.
I got Stafford.
2 for 2.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a lion, but okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Here's where it gets a little complicated because I really believe, based on all of the Rams games I've seen, I've got 2 offensive linemen.
Oh gosh, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Wait, so no Sean McVay?
That's true.
Oh, well, I mean, I thought we were going players. I mean, McVay would obviously
It's
be
Rams.
there.
It is Rams.
So
okay. Well, then I would go McVay, and then it comes down to Orlando Pace or Jackie Slater. I probably would go Jackie Slater.
Wow, dang. I had Eric Dickerson and Isaac Bruce, my last 2.
I love both of them. I mean, again, this is one of those things. It's not the New York Yankees. It's not necessarily the LA Lakers. But when you really look at the history of this organization, to only have 2 championships is pretty crazy because, I mean, Hall of Famers everywhere.
Now,
I would go, if we're going Sean McVay, Aaron Donald, Matthew Stafford, and I think I would go Jackie Slater.
I only brought it up because I thought Kupp was kind of close to this. I mean, he loved Cooper Kupp.
McVay, Stafford, Dickerson, Falk for me is what I went.
Okay. Well, if I'm just going favorite players, but, I had some weird favorite play. I loved Dre Bly back in the day.
Out of North Carolina?
Piece of TNR Samoa out of Hawaii, man. I mean, there were Hawaii 5-0. There were a lot of players that I really, really, fell in love with that, weren't necessarily great players.
Michelson viewing menu brought to you by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision. It allows you to see the Space Needle out there, the top of it in Seattle, LT.
Yeah, it's going to be a clear day, and everybody's talking about Mount Rainier, and they're like, you've got to see it on a clear day, and I think this is going to be the only sunny day. So yeah, Michelson's going to help with this. Again, I got the procedure done in 2003. Still have the 2015 vision, better than 2020. If you wear the glasses or contacts, I'm speaking from experience, you're wasting money each and every year. You owe it to yourself to find out if you're a candidate for LASIK. Make the call that I made. Ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you. She is going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation. You have zero to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. 205-969-8100 or michelsonlaservision.com.
All right. First off, I was at the movies last night.
Shocker.
Saw Return to Silent Hill. Now, I love the video game Silent Hill, and I love horror movies, so I should have really liked this one.
But
it was made by somebody who definitely played Silent Hill, enjoyed it, but didn't understand it.
Oh.
So I ended up with something that looked like Silent Hill, but was most definitely not Silent Hill. Pyramid Head, that guy that I was telling you guys about the other day.
Yep. Got
a giant steel pyramid for his head and a big sword, and he's real evil. You barely see him. He's like in the background.
Well, I'm not going to go watch it if there's not much Pyramid Head.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I'm out.
Exactly. There's not much Pyramid Head at all. He's a total waste in this movie.
Then I'm out.
But anyway, tonight you got a new release. I told you about it Monday for the screen unseen, and that is Mercy, starring Chris Pratt. He's a detective who's standing on trial accused of murdering his wife, and he's only got 90 minutes to prove his innocence to the advanced AI judge, played by Rebecca Ferguson, that he once championed before it determines his fate and decides if he gets jail, if he's free, or if he is executed.
Oh, wow.
I feel like I should get a little bit longer than 90 minutes. Do I get any timeouts?
Yes.
I want to know that as well.
Is this a Tuscaloosa judge hearing my case, or is this an AI judge?
Is it like a soccer clock where it's just counting up constantly, and we might add stoppage time at the end?
Yeah. I'm going to want some stoppage time. Yeah. I'm pulling for overtime, no doubt.
7 p.m. on Netflix, you got a live event, and it is the Skyscraper event.
I had that written down for you just in case you'd forgotten. Alex Honnold's Skyscraper Climb, 7 Central, 8 Eastern on Netflix tonight. Will anybody watch?
No.
I mean, this is sad. Like, if you were to tell me he's going to fall, I'd watch.
I know. I think we're all in that boat. Like, if I thought it could be something exciting, I'd watch. But
I'll tell you what, man. If he wants to take one for the team moving forward, there would be a lot more intrigue with these events. I mean, the success rate is 99.99%. I mean, the last person that didn't make something, I think, was our man Evel Knievel jumping the Snake River. I mean, like, when has somebody failed at one of these things?
Oh,
I don't know. That Travis Pastrana guy always seemed to make it pretty easily.
Yeah. What city is this in?
Taipei in Taiwan.
Never mind. I thought it was in the U.S. I mean, we got a historic winter storm blowing through the U.S. I was like, that is ripe for, he really wanted to climb the building, but with all the ice and snow, we cannot do it today.
I just don't get it. We've got NFL kickers that miss extra points. Like, how does one of these guys not fall?
It's a great question. I don't know.
Tomorrow, we've got early access for an upcoming movie called Send Help. A woman and her overbearing boss become stranded on a deserted island after a plane crash. They must overcome past grievances and work together to survive, but ultimately, it's a battle of wills and wits to make it out alive. It's directed by Sam Raimi and stars Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien. And then finally, this Sunday, we've got a re-release of a John Woo classic, and that is Hard Boiled. I actually haven't seen this. Been looking forward to this re-release. A cop who loses his partner in a shootout with gun smugglers goes on a mission to catch them. In order to get closer to the leaders of the ring, he joins forces with an undercover cop who's working as a gangster hitman. They use all means of excessive force to find them. And it is starring Chow Yun-fat, who is excellent in John Woo movies. These movies are just a storm of bullets. They make absolutely no sense. The subgenre that John Woo pioneered is called gun fu.
Oh, gun fu. Okay, I like that. Instead of kung fu, yeah.
Yeah. And that's all I got.
Okay, and quickly, before we get away from this, we have the 18th and 19th sports movies nominated for Best Film, LT, this year in Marty Supreme and F1. Only 19 sports movies have been nominated for Best Film. Can either one of you tell me how many have won Best Film from a year? Of that list, Marty Supreme and F1 become the 18th and 19th sports movie to be nominated for an Oscar for Best Motion Picture.
I think Rocky and Raging Bull.
Rocky is correct. Raging Bull did not win it in 1980. But something did in 1981 right after it.
In 81, was it Breaking Away?
No, Breaking Away did not win in 1979, but both of those were nominated. Breaking Away, Chariots of Fire in 1981 won, and Million Dollar Baby in 2004. Those are the only three sports movies to win Best Motion Picture. I don't think anybody saw The Champ ever, 1931, nominated. Pride of the Yankees, 1942, nominated. Then all the way to 1961, The Hustler. I never saw it. Do you see it, LT?
I have seen that. Paul Newman.
Yeah. Jackie Gleason and Paul Newman.
Okay, Rocky won it in 76. The next one was 78, Heaven Can Wait. Didn't win it.
Great movie.
Then Breaking Bad in 79. Raging Bull in 80. Chariots of Fire wins it in 81. Go all the way to 89. Field of Dreams does not win it, but is nominated. Then you go to 1996, Jerry Maguire, didn't win it. Seabiscuit in 2003, did not win it. Million Dollar Baby won it in 2004. The Blind Side nominated but didn't win it in 2009. The Fighter nominated and didn't win it in 2010. Moneyball in 2011 didn't win. Ford and Ferrari actually was nominated in 2019, did not win it. King Richard in 2021 did not win it, nominated. And now we're at Marty Supreme and F1.
I kind of like
all these movies you talk about, and I've seen the majority of those movies. I mean, they're fringe. I mean, so there is a sports theme, but they're not your typical sports movie. I mean, it is more, about the human element when it comes to these films. Like Million Dollar Baby was so overrated. It was good, it was powerful. But like if you're expecting a sports movie, and I think Tyler would back this up. I haven't seen Marty Supreme yet, but it's about a dude that's got a lot of issues and he plays ping pong.
Right.
That is what the movie's about.
It's sports adjacent, basically, is what you're saying.
Yeah. And for F1 to be nominated for Best Film is a joke.
Oh.
Yeah.
Lance is not voting F1.
All right, so that is another long list of sports movies not to win it, according to LT.
That's F1 is great to watch in the theater, but as just a movie standing alone by itself, it's fine.
That is our viewing menu brought to you by Michelson today. When we come back, we'll get back to more college football that's out there, basketball ahead, and a couple of more NFL notes as we work our way towards championship weekend, being brought to you by Bojangles Brownie.
You can make a bow time at Bojangles for lunch right now or dinner tonight. Take a look at that chicken bowl, the chicken rice bowl there at Bojangles, back for a limited time. They start right there with that hearty scoop of that Cajun rice. They're going to follow it up with those spoonful of slow-cooked Cajun pintos, the layer of melty cheese, your choice of chicken. It is hot, it is hearty, it is all yours for just $7.49. Don't wait too long. The bowl is back for a limited time, so if you're hungry, you know where to go. Drive-thru always open with our friends at Bojangles, where you can make it bow time.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
Hop in. Injured in an Uber or Lyft? Here's the problem. Was it the driver's fault? The other car? The app company? Good luck figuring that out while you're trying to heal. Alexander Shinar Trial Attorneys, they've got a guy for rideshare accidents. And here's the best part. They don't get paid unless you do. You heal. They fight. One call, 659-777-7777. Or visit alexwins.law. Alexander Shinar Trial Attorneys. Because rideshare accidents need an experienced team. Physical office, Birmingham.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger, made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
It's the O'Reilly Auto Parts World of Wheels, January 30th through February 1st at the BJCC. With customs, classics, hot rods, and more. Don't miss the Golden Riders motorcycle stunt team, plus BMX stunt teams performing outrageous stunts live. Friday, meet WWE star Rikishi. Saturday is Kevin Mack from Counts Customs. And Sunday, meet TV host Courtney Hansen. Bring the kids for free Hot Wheels racing, costume characters, rides, and more. Get discount tickets at all O'Reilly Auto Parts stores. Details at worldofwheels.net.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
Adam Schefter was the first to report it, but Scott Forrester was the second to report it, the first verbally to me. Can I get Forrester's mic? Who's interviewing for the Bills job right now, Forrester?
That's apparently Phillip Rivers. He does have head coaching experience, after all.
He does. He does.
A recent NFL quarterback, too.
Let me ask you this. If you could somehow, if he's able to coach up the ability for the quick reads that he's able to read from the quarterback position, he would be a fantastic hire, right?
No doubt.
I mean, will you be shocked if Phillip Rivers is an NFL head coach one day? I mean, I'm not saying he's going to get the Bills job. I don't think there's any chance he's getting the Bills job.
I'd be surprised if it was this day.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it is today.
I will be shocked if it is this day.
Yes. I mean,
great line, Forrester.
Yeah, I mean, Lance, I think Phillip Rivers is cut out to be an NFL head coach.
I mean, I guess spend some time with all those kids, man. You just retired.
That's what he's trying to do.
My gosh. I think there's something here. This came out of nowhere. I don't know about if you guys had heard anything. I hadn't heard anything about it. I saw Schefter drop this.
I just assumed
there's be some substance to it.
I just assumed Dable would get the job, that they interviewed him, and that when he was available after getting fired by the Giants, that quirky owner thinks that they can unlock Josh Allen again the way they did when Dable was the offensive coordinator. That's just trying to put my mind in the head of the guy who insulted Keon Coleman with Keon Coleman still on the roster. I was like, this guy maybe is not playing with all 52 right now. So let's see. Is it 52 cards?
Yeah, 52.
Okay, cool.
Let's count the jokers.
Yeah. All right. Before we get back into football, the show being brought to you today, Brownie, by our friend Alexander Shannara, trial attorney.
Alexander Shannara, trial attorneys. That is where you go when you are in need of any legal help. Shannara.com. Shannara.com is the website. Alexander Shannara wanted to create a firm that can handle anything his community faced, and he has done just that. More than 25 years now, the firm has grown to more than 150 lawyers, supported by more than 500 dedicated team members. And their elite trial lawyers have recovered more than $2 billion, maintaining Alexander's core values: integrity, mastery, passion, and success. When you find yourself in need of a lawyer, Alexander Shannara trial attorneys, you don't pay a dime unless they win your case. Shannara.com, Shannara.com.
Stephen Pearl and Auburn plays Florida tomorrow, 3 o'clock on ESPN. Stephen Pearl and I agree about one thing. It's this right here.
We seem to be catching teams at their best. Florida's playing really good basketball. Have won 5 straight. It's the best team in our league, I think, by a pretty significant margin. And, Coach Golden is shown to be probably the best coach in our league right now. So tremendous opportunity for our guys to, go on the road and, see what we got against, a team that's just got unbelievable size, especially 3 through 5. One of the most imposing physical teams in college basketball. That's probably the best rebounding team in the country. Play really well at home, and they're starting to find their stride. Chinulu has just been a total difference maker for that team. He's 21 rebounds in the last game, 11 offensive. He'll keep you up at night, and then they got Condon and they got Tommy Hawk and they got Handel Ogden, and then when those guards start making shots, good luck.
Yeah, the part I agree with is that Florida is the best team in the league right now.
I think that's
that's the only limb I'm going out on there. But I think Florida is the best team in the league. But LT, they're not as good as they were last year.
No, and look, can they get there? Possibly. That front court, as he said, man, their size. And Ruben Chidalou, if you haven't watched how aggressive this guy is right now, and you mentioned Condon earlier, again, they've won 9 of 10. I don't think it's close. I do like the little dig. I know it's his friend, but he's the best coach in the league. But I guess you could take a look around the league. There's a lot of great coaches, right?
Yeah, but he's got the trophy. It's hard to argue.
He does.
Yeah, he is the reigning national champion.
Yeah, Torvik has both Torvik and KenPom, the analytics sites. I have to use Torvik now. I'm told the coaches like that one too. Florida is the only team either has in their top 10. They are 8th in Torvik and 10th in KenPom.
Yeah, they are right now the best in the SEC. Auburn will try to take them down. Tennessee and Alabama going tomorrow. One thing to keep an eye on, if Florida's guards are able to shoot tomorrow, right now the worst three-point defensive team in the SEC is Auburn in SEC games. That surprises me. But they are 15 out of 16 of SEC games played in three-point shooting. They are 16 out of 16 in three-point defense in SEC games.
So anything that happens beyond the arc, Auburn is not good at right now.
Anything around the arc, they're not good at right now. They've got to turn that around.
But I would assume, and I haven't seen the numbers, with Florida as a team shooting less than 29% from 3, that might be 16 of 16 there.
Yeah. They could be. You're saying they could be the worst three-point shooting team? I find that hard to believe, but maybe I'll pull that number up.
They're only making 28.6% of their threes. That's not good.
Yeah. Auburn's hitting 25% of theirs in conference play.
That's awful.
And they're 15th, so that's going to be behind Florida. That's in SEC play. Fun day tomorrow. Ole Miss at Kentucky, moving that game up to 10 a.m. start time because of the winter storm in Lexington. Vandy, Mississippi State, Georgia, Texas, LSU, Arkansas, part of the weekend of the Southeastern Conference. Before we do 4 downs, the 4 downs are brought to you today by our friends, Brownie, at Inverness Country Club.
Yeah.
The great folks at Inverness.
I go out there all the time, Inverness Country Club. Love the place. You will too. Inverness Country Club, a great place to go for that club home. You're looking for a club home in the Birmingham area. How about a place that's got a great course, an excellent clubhouse with a dynamite food. Their food is terrific. A resort-style pool, they have that as well. A great tennis facility, which, by the way, their tennis pro shop undergoing renovation right now, so it's going to be brand new as well. Workout fitness center. They've got child care if you need to have a meeting there, maybe squeeze in 9 holes or a couple sets of tennis before heading home. They've got great child care there. I walk past it all the time. Kids are having a blast in there. They love it.
So much fun.
So much fun. ICCalabama.com. Reach out to Erin. Erin is our friend there. She does a tremendous job, and she can set up a tour for you. She's done it for a number of next round audience there, and she can do it for you as well. At Inverness Country Club, ICCalabama.com. The best days happen at Inverness Country Club.
First down.
A bigger number on Sunday in the AFC Championship game. Jared Stidham total touchdowns or Jared Stidham total turnovers?
Well, if you tell me which one, I'll tell you who wins. I am going to go touchdowns, total touchdowns for Jared Stidham. I think he'll protect the ball. I don't think he'll turn it over a lot.
I'm going to say he doesn't throw any touchdown passes, that any of their touchdowns will come via the run. So I'll actually go turnovers. And I'm not saying he's going to be a turnover machine.
But I mean, it could be 1-0.
It could be 1-0. If Denver wins this game, I think Denver wins this game 12-6, 12-7.
That sounds exciting.
Yeah. Field goal city and defense. Keep in mind that the Patriots have given up 58 sacks this year. The Broncos have 71 sacks. So Broncos good at sacking the quarterback. Patriots, they play a lot of Ole on the offensive line. Broncos defense if they win this game.
Yeah, Nick Bonito versus Will Campbell is a mismatch. It's probably like 1-1.
Yep.
But I think Stidham's going to surprise a little bit, so I'm actually going to say more total touchdowns. I'm going to go 2-1.
Second down.
More pressure next year, Lane Kiffin or Dan Lanning?
Well, I mean, Dan Lanning, here's what I would say about him is the Big Ten is on a 3 national championship streak, and it's been 3 different teams, and none of them are named Oregon. So to me, that ramps it up a little bit on Lane, more than on Lane Kiffin. You know, I think for Kiffin, the expectation is obviously to make the college football playoffs and get, be in the hunt for the national championship. I don't think I would say Kiffin is national championship or bust next year, but I do feel like that for Dan Lanning. You've won the Big Ten. You've been to the playoffs. You've gotten destroyed in your last 2 games, your last 2 losses in the playoffs. You've gotten absolutely dismantled and embarrassed. Now is the time to put up for Dan Lanning. So I'd say Dan Lanning.
There's more pressure on Dan Lanning, but there's an extremely amount of pressure on Lane because you have gone to work for zealots, and they have opened their wallet and given you everything they wanted and that you wanted. And they expect to be entertained. They expect to win. So Lane may not have to win the national championship, but he probably has to be in Atlanta. But they're not firing him. They can't fire him. Lane's going to be there for a long, long time. They don't have the money to fire him. So there's more pressure on Dan Lanning because of everything you said. They just haven't beaten a Power 4 conference team in the playoffs yet.
Yeah, I probably framed it bad. I think there is obviously more pressure on Lanning to win a national championship, but I do think all eyes are going to be on Kiffin based on the fact that Ole Miss made this run without him when he basically said, I'm going to LSU because I've got a chance to win a national championship. And now everybody that is against Lane Kiffin, which, by the way, is most of college football, I think they're going to be pulling and just watching to see how successful he really is. And a lot of people believe, back to Kirk Cignetti, if he can go 11-1 in Indiana in year 1, Lane Kiffin with these resources and the money they're spending right now in the portal, why they can't make a deep, deep run next year. But I'm going to agree with you guys. I'm going to go Dan Lanning.
Third down.
A little more interesting, more pressure next year. Steve Sarkisian or Kalen DeBoer?
There's a story today from out in Texas. Arch has had foot surgery. This is not going to impact him playing. It is going to impact him in the playoff, and it is the type of thing that comes up in the NFL draft, right? That, oh, wait a minute, now you had to have off-season foot surgery. It's just one of those things that Arch will have to answer questions about in the draft.
You said playoffs. It won't impact him in the playoffs.
Regular season, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I don't know why I said playoffs.
It's not going to impact him in the upcoming season.
That's right.
But when he gets to be draft time, it'll be part of his medicals.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. It's a planned surgery, to address a foot issue that he has had. So it's gonna come up in the draft, Brett, but it will not. It shouldn't impact his regular season or all the reports. It's going to impact his off season.
Yeah, a lot of people felt like he was dealing with a turf toe, which is a fractured toe,
right?
Or a torn ligament. It's a toe injury that's more significant than it sounds like.
Yeah, the name of it sounds like nothing.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with AstroTurf, and that he had dealt with that throughout most of the season. There's pressure on both of these guys, and I think we talk about this often. But I mean, Kalen DeBoer is in a new world, has to continue to make the playoffs, or his fan base is going to be crazy. Steve Sarkisian has got to go to the playoffs too, and they've got to win it. So both of them, I don't know how you tell the difference, but I'll go Kalen DeBoer.
Yeah, I'm going to go Sark here, just based on the fact that a lot of people had him number one this past year. They didn't get to. Not only did they didn't live up to that expectation, they didn't get to a college football playoff. They lost 3 regular season games. And oh, by the way, Mike Elko in year 2 got them to a college football playoff. Joey McGuire got in-state Texas Tech to a college football playoff. I know DeBoer's under a ton of pressure, but I think the most pressure going into next year is Steve Sarkisian.
Yeah, but you make a good point about the in-state success. I did not consider that.
4th down.
John Hancock would have been, you guys want to guess how old today?
I'm going to say
he was 23 in 1776.
Wow, that's a young guy.
So I'm going to say he is going to be 273.
I'm going to say he's knocking on the door 300 if he were with us. I'm going to go 301.
Hey, Dunaway, right? I mean, close. Price is right, man. You went a little over. It's 269. Would have been 269 years old today.
Wow, that's impressive.
If you could bring both of these guys back from the dead, who would be more shocked? John Hancock, that we no longer teach cursive in school, or Bobby Knight, the fact that Indiana just went 16-0 in football and won a national championship?
What a great 4 downs question.
First off, you have to remember that if you were a rebel and you were changing history back in 1776, are you going to be old people who came over from England with a lot of money over here, and you sort of like the way life is, and are you up for change then, or are you going to be younger and a rebel? That's why I went that Hancock, who got his signature on the Declaration of Independence. A lot of those guys were younger guys, relatively speaking.
Yeah, but he was the one that said, I'll make it big enough they can read it, by God. Yeah. I mean, you would think that's an older guy that had less to lose, but maybe it's a younger guy that was just brash and a rebel, right?
That had nothing to lose.
But can you imagine, though, Bobby Knight? Like, we remember the discourse between Mark Stoops and John Calipari. And, like, Bobby Knight never had to deal with that because it was his campus and it was his athletic program. And if you were to tell him that Indiana football just went 16-0 and won a national championship, I mean, that is mind-blowing.
Yeah.
I think I would go Bobby Knight. I get the feeling he was the kind of guy that made sure Indiana football never would upstage him.
That's right. Yeah. Why do we even have football?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he'd be sick to his stomach if that would have ever happened on his watch.
Yeah, like if Indiana girls soccer, women's soccer ever had a good year, he made sure that they didn't get to order new balls next year.
That coach got suspended for something?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're right. John Hancock's like, I bet cursive is taking over, right? And no, don't even use it anymore there, JH.
Yeah, how do you do that? Like, I guess, I talked to my son Jack about everything in the world, but I haven't really talked to him about his signature.
Yeah, I know. I was just thinking the same thing. Like, cursive is everybody's signature. If you don't know cursive, how do you sign something?
Well, I don't know. I'll ask my son. He's 21 to see if he has a signature.
Hey, this is a man on the street thing. Maybe I'm going to take to the street to Seattle today, and I'm going to pose this question.
Yeah,
the one you just asked.
Are you with us next hour too, or do you and Maddie want to go ahead and hit breakfast? What is it, 9 o'clock out there now?
She's gone to some I guess they call them a dry bar, blow bar, whatever, where you get your hair kicked out or whatever.
Gotcha.
Okay,
I'm with you guys for 30 more.
I was about to say I'm about to book my first trip to Seattle, but
you want to go to a blow bar?
I mean, well, hey, I did. A man walks into a bar.
Probably don't need to send her there. So I'm going to be with you guys the next 30, and I think Brown's going to take trash. If that's cool.
I do have trash. Yeah,
all right,
so another 30
right.
with Lance.
As a fan of breakfast, I was trying to getting you out the door to go try some pancakes or waffles or whatever.
Well, you got to remember, I've still got. So I mean, it's only 9 o'clock here. So if I get out of here in 30 minutes, I can't go to lunch. So
perfect breakfast then. Yeah.
So Lance is in Seattle. I apologize yesterday for saying Lance would not be back on the show until Tuesday. He obviously was here today and will join us at least briefly Monday to react to the games, and then I assume travel on Tuesday to come back. But we appreciate him being with us from Seattle. That's where he is for Rams and Seahawks. On the other side, in his final 30 minutes on the show, I will give him one stat that is against the Rams this weekend.
No, don't do that to him.
And we'll talk more about the NFL playoffs and everything else that is going on in college athletics. Our show being brought to you today by our friends at New York Butcher Shop. They're going to be disappointed they didn't get to see you today, LT.
Yeah, it's funny. I was talking to our friend Alec from Coke a couple of days ago, and we were talking about the New York Butcher Shop, and him and his wife absolutely loved going to the original location in Cahaba Heights. But just the best in steaks. You know, we had some on Monday night for the national championship game where 31 million people were watching Miami lose to Indiana. Enjoyed those incredible steaks. The fresh in-house sides made every single day, from the baked beans, the incredible mashed potatoes, the mac and cheese. I was trying to remember what he told me you've got to try there, and I think it was a dessert. They've got a great apple cobbler. Fantastic key lime pies. I'll think of it a little bit. Anyway, one-stop dinner shop, 2 locations. Get in and see Jim and those fine folks. The original Cahaba Heights, Highway 119 in Greystone. Rare quality, well-done service. It is the New York Butcher Shop.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
We interrupt this program for breaking news. From the Gators of the litigation situation. Insurance companies have a playbook. I repeat, insurance companies have a playbook. Deny, delay, defend. They know which law firms will fold and settle cheap. They are not on your side. That's corporate greed at work. At Alexander Sonara Trial Attorneys, we fight back. We have the resource, the muscle, and the will to take them on. And you don't pay a dime unless we win. They fight dirty. We fight hard. Call 659-777-7777. Or hit up alexwins.law.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
It's the O'Reilly Auto Parts World of Wheels, January 30th through February 1st at the BJCC with customs, classics, hot rods, and more. Don't miss the Golden Riders motorcycle stunt team, plus BMX stunt teams performing outrageous stunts live. Friday, meet WWE star Rikishi. Saturday is Kevin Mack from Counts Customs. And Sunday, meet TV host Courtney Hansen. Bring the kids for free Hot Wheels racing, costume characters, rides, and more. Get discount tickets at all O'Reilly Auto Parts stores. Details at worldofwheels.net.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemphill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemphill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemphill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemphill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Final hour of the show brought to you by our friends at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken, champyschicken.com. 213 days away from the start of the college football season. Always great tailgating with our friends at Champy's. But if you want lunch or dinner tonight, it's a destination location, a place to go by and get southern fried chicken, brined overnight, cooked to order, juicy down to the bone, piping hot when it comes out, hand-cut chicken fingers, Mississippi Delta recipe tamales, and so much more. It's champyschicken.com. Go by and say hi to our buddy Sterling right there. Joe Klatt did his way too early top 10 earlier this week. No Alabama in there. Now we're on it. We're in our time now where we've just decided today that we're going to keep the 12-team playoff as is with some nuances. It doesn't matter what you're ranked, but if you're a Power 4 conference champion, you're in the playoffs. So Duke would have made it this year. Notre Dame, if you're in the top 12, you're going to be in. But with the new playoff format and where Alabama, Auburn is right now, it seems like nobody is counting on Alabama being in the mix next year. I'll ask you guys both quickly. Alabama's expectation next year is not nationally. I know fans are differently, but nationally, Alabama's not projected right now to be a playoff team next year. Is that fair?
Oh, yeah. I think if you took, guys like Klatt, Andy Staples, Connor O'Gara, if you took 10 national guys that cover the sport, I bet 9 of 10 wouldn't have Alabama in their top 10 or top 12. We said it earlier this week when we were doing, our way too early top 12 that probably when we see the preseason rankings, Alabama's going to fall between 15 and 20. And this is kind of why I disagree with it. And Brown, I'll let you get to your point. Year one, 9 wins. Year two, 11 wins, and getting to a college football playoff and winning a game on the road. I know there's big question marks with this offense. I think the defense is going to be really, really good. And I think the offense is actually going to be better next year.
I do think the offense will be better. It's impossible for them to be worse running the football. You'd have to get negative yardage to be worse running the football. So I think they're going to be better on the run game. The question will be, is Russell better than Simpson, or is he as good as Simpson? I don't know the answer to that. I think he can play to the level Simpson played. So I'm with you. I think their offense will be better. I am a believer in their defense. Dunaway was giving me a stop rate stat earlier today.
Yeah, well, Alabama's 30th.
30th in the nation, and obviously not the SEC, Ryan. There are not 30 SEC teams. 30th in the nation in stop rate. But you'd like to be higher than that, right?
Texas Tech was number 1 with an 83.5% stop rate. Alabama was around 66.
Yeah.
in the neighborhood with Missouri and others. Texas Tech, Indiana, Ohio State, Oklahoma, Miami, Oregon, Virginia, Utah, LSU, Notre Dame, Louisville, Texas, Iowa, SMU, Arizona, all Power 4 ahead of them.
Yeah.
I took out the G5s.
And the reason I think Lance, Alabama will be better running the football is the work they've done at offensive line in the portal. Have they gotten absolutely everyone they wanted? No. I mean, I don't think anybody does. But they've gotten a lot of guys, and I don't think they're getting guys that can't play that are just warm bodies. I think they think these guys can play. So I think they're going to fix their offensive line issues through the portal, and I do think their offense will be better. But I understand. I'm with you. I think most people, when these rankings come out, will have Alabama somewhere in the 10 to 15 range and probably under 12, which means you don't project them in the playoffs.
Yeah, here's what I don't get. And look, and I know it was aesthetically, it wasn't the best looking product out there. But like if you would have asked those same, 10, guys that cover college football nationally for their top 10 coaches before this season, I think all 10 would have had Kalen DeBoer. I'm not sure that's the case right now. Like, I don't know if you guys agree with this, but I think the perception on Kalen DeBoer has dropped a little bit.
Oh, yeah. It has.
Ironically, when he did his best coaching job this year, I thought, since he's been at Alabama.
Yeah, this season.
Yeah.
But I think if you just step back, if I gave you these two pieces of information, or if I gave you these pieces of information, what would your anticipation be for Alabama? If I said, I'm going to strip the name off, I'm not going to tell you the team I'm talking about, but it is a power conference team there in the SEC. Coach in year one, just missed the playoffs, just on the outside looking in. Year two, made the playoffs, advanced to the quarterfinals. What would be your expectation? Oh, well, year three, big step forward. Then semifinals, national championship game would be my expectation.
Yeah, I mean, the expectation, you played for the SEC championship is technically
That's right,
the one seed.
Yeah, I didn't throw that in.
It would be, hey, let's win the national championship let's win the SEC championship and let's make a deeper run to at least the semifinals this year.
I'm going to read out Klatt's top 10. You tell me the first team that you think doesn't make the playoffs.
All right.
Or at least is very precariously on the playoff line. He has Oregon number 1.
I mean, again, when you return Dante Moore, it was already a playoff team. It's hard to argue that.
He's got Georgia 2.
They're in.
Gunnar Stockton back. He has Indiana 3.
I mean, I'm believing in them, Lance. I don't know why I'd stop believing now, right?
Yeah, I mean, why would you?
Yeah.
Ohio State 4, Notre Dame 5.
I saw Notre Dame's schedule. They were circulating. First of all, it's the first schedule in my lifetime where they don't have USC on it.
Yep.
Which looks weird. And Notre Dame, I don't have it in front of me. I think I saw they played 8 teams that had at least 8 losses last year.
That's right.
So, I mean, I know a lot can change year to year, but they had 8 teams on this upcoming schedule that had at least 8 losses last year.
His bottom 5 of his top 10. Number 6, Texas.
Again, I picked them to win to be the 1 seed.
Yeah, I mean, I think Texas fans are going to be if they end up, just playing in the semifinals. I think they're going to be disappointed.
Yeah.
Number 7 is Miami.
I think that's where I would start my argument for not going to make the playoffs. I mean, they snuck in. I know they ended up playing for the national championship.
Ball in hand to win it.
Ball in hand to win it, but they snuck in this year. So, I mean, it's not exactly way out on a limb to say they don't make it next year.
If Darian Mintz is a quarterback, LT, you think they're better at quarterback than they were last year?
I think they will be. I think it's more in the – I mean, you look at this, what Mensa did this past year, not only winning a ACC championship with Duke, but you just look at his numbers. And the guy, obviously, from Tulane to Duke, they paid him $4 million for a reason, and now Miami's going to pay him more than that. Carson Beck. Again, we couldn't really figure out what the category is. He's not a lead. He's not a game manager. He's a really good quarterback, but I think there's more electricity when it comes to Mensa and what he can do with those legs.
Are Bain and Mesidor both gone?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, they're both in the NFL. So
they did pick up Damon Wilson yesterday, the Missouri transfer, a guy that guys like Louis Riddick believe will be top 10 NFL draft when he goes after next year.
Yeah.
So you're replacing good with good. He's the edge rusher from Missouri, now going to be with the Miami Hurricanes. And Gerard Pringle, the running back that hit the portal that Alabama fans were hopeful were going to come to Tuscaloosa. He went back to Miami out of the portal.
Reeled him back in,
so
didn't
you're
they?
not going to get him.
Yeah.
The back half of his top 10, 8, 9, and 10, he's believing in LSU, he's believing in Michigan, and he's believing Texas Tech can get back there. 8, 9, and 10, LSU, Michigan, and Texas Tech. I mean, who's LSU's quarterback?
I mean, Sam Levitt?
Yeah.
Is that who that's what they ended up with? Okay.
Yeah, Sam Levitt. Remember, it looked like they lost him, and then he eventually came back when they paid him a bundle.
Sam Levitt without Scatterboo, Michigan with Bryce Underwood at 8 and 9.
I mean, I'm a believer. Yeah,
both of those are where you start losing me there.
I'm a Whittingham believer. I think the guy's a very good coach. You think he's a placeholder. I think Lance and I feel like this is going to be a little different than just a placeholder.
Yeah. I mean, the funny thing is, what is Whittingham? I think he's younger than Cignetti.
No, I think he's 66.
How old is Cignetti? 62?
Cignetti's 64, and I think Whittingham's at least 64.
Whittingham is 66. He'll turn 67 right before the big game next year.
But, they're still right there in the same realm, and we view Cignetti as a guy that could coach another 10 years. I mean, look, I don't think you're going to get 10 years out of Whittingham, but you can get a good 5 years, and I think he can immediately – I mean, what he did at Utah, you can't really deny it. But I know a lot of people are like, well, he would always knock on the door and not get there. It's Utah. This is Michigan.
Yeah, I don't trust Bryce Underwood, though. I will say that. I don't on a national champion or a playoff level, I'm not sure I trust Bryce Underwood that much.
I think he will be one of the more improved players in college football this year.
I would say Michigan, either Miami or Michigan would be my argument with Klatt on those.
A couple more things to get to in this segment as we get ready for an NFL championship weekend. We'll jump back into the NFL as well. By the way, before LT, you tell us about our friends at Odie's, I want to point out that as far as Ohio State is concerned in this upcoming season, keep an eye on Matt Patricia, defensive coordinator. He is being mentioned at several openings with new NFL coaching staffs or places like the Chargers, who just lost a defensive coordinator. So there are interest from several organizations in the NFL for Matt Patricia to return to the NFL as a defensive coordinator, where if he wants to be a head coach again, that probably is the path that he would choose. So take Patricia out of Ohio State, and I wonder if that changes Ohio State's season next year. Just something to keep an eye on. Tell us about our friends at Odie's.
Yeah, it is funny, though, real quick on that point, talking to an Ohio State fan during the game on Monday night, he really believed, and I think we agreed, I know you did, Brown, that, maybe the weakness was going to be Jim Knowles leaving the program and having to bring Patricia in. Patricia did a hell of a job.
Yeah. They were just as good or better, yeah.
Great place for live music tonight and tomorrow night if you're looking for a place to watch. College basketball all weekend long. You can do it right there at either location of Odie's. Newest location in Edgewood, original location in Crestline, where we do Odie's Team Trivia every Wednesday night. Incredible food from Rodney Davis, almost 4 decades now. The wings, the burgers, delicious sandwiches like the Diablo sandwich, ice cold beer buckets full of the Bud Light, the Odie's famous cup cocktails. Get in and see Will Avery and that great staff. Birmingham Institution, 2 locations. It's Odie's Tavern.
All right, the longest Final Four in professional sports is this weekend in the NFL. Final Four in baseball is the ALCS, NLCS, and in the NBA, it's Eastern Conference, Western Conference Finals. The longest drought in not being in one of the 3 major sports Final Four is the Washington Bullets / Wizards. They haven't been to the Final Four of the NBA since 1979.
Okay.
After that, it is the Charlotte NBA organization. They didn't become in existence in '88. They've never been.
Okay.
The Browns 89?
The Browns 89 is the longest drought in the NFL.
And the Maple Leafs 93.
I don't have NHL. I just went with the 3 American sports since we're becoming that country.
Wait a minute. We were going to get Canada at one point.
Miami, the Dolphins, 1992.
A terrible, terrible loss to the Bills at Joe Robbie Stadium. One of the more painful losses of my lifetime. We turned it over. Dan Marino looked like he'd never seen a football at times.
In the Major League Baseball, also 1992, the Pittsburgh Pirates have not been back to the NLCS since Sid Bream was safe at the plate. The Pirates haven't been back to the NLCS.
Yeah, proud franchise.
By the way, the Reds, 1995. And that's the same year the Cowboys, which has the NFC record of the longest drought to the NFC championship game, the Dallas Cowboys in 1995. So
that's the most amazing thing currently going on in sports, I think.
Is the Cowboys?
I really do. Yeah, I mean, just with the valuation, it's, when you look at Forbes' valuation, it's the most, valued team in North American sports. You've got an owner that absolutely loves it more than life himself. I know he gets in the way a little bit, but, they had, outside of the last 2 seasons, they had 3 straight 12-5s with Dak Prescott, recently. And for them just to not be able to get to an NFC championship game is pretty incredible.
If you had told 76 Jim Dunaway, when he chose the Tampa Bay Buccaneers expansion team as his favorite NFL team, only because every kid at Thompson Elementary was either Cowboy, Steeler, and slight Dolphins because they were always on TV, but mostly Cowboy, Steeler because nobody in third grade mud puddle loved jumping on a bandwagon more than third grade mud puddle kids. Everybody was Cowboy, Steeler fan, so I became a Buccaneer fan. If you'd have told that kid in 1970-something that the 1970s Cowboys and 1970 Reds would go from 1995 until modern day of not forget winning a championship, just being back in their Final Four of their professional sports, that would be mind-boggling. They owned the 70s, those two franchises.
That is pretty crazy, to go back that your Bucks have actually been, in a lot of ways, better than the Reds, and not in that time in the Cowboys, because the Cowboys have won some in that time, but more recently, yeah.
Well, think about this, before we hit the pandemic, and the pandemic doesn't seem like a long time ago, the Dodgers went 32 years without winning a World Series championship. And the amazing thing is, we were just talking about their payroll last week. And that really hasn't changed. Obviously it's gone up, but as far as based on other payrolls over that time, they still had, along with the Yankees, tops in baseball, and they couldn't break through.
Do you see how much money the Dodgers are paying Ohtani and Tucker this year? 77 home runs between them.
A lot. I have no idea.
Nope. Brendan Sorsby is making more money this year at Texas Tech.
It's all deferred.
Yep. Shohei Ohtani gets $2 million this year. $68 million deferred to 2036. Kyle Tucker's getting $1 million this year. He's getting a $54 million signing bonus the day he reports to spring training.
Look,
$54 million signing bonus, but his salary is $1 million.
You couldn't give me.
Yeah, because I was about to say, the deferred, that's great, and it's very innovative. And I'm sure Shohei wants for nothing, but if he was to get hit by a bus, deferred payments don't do a lot for him.
You couldn't get me to spring training fast enough if I had $50 million.
The catchers and pitchers report in 18 days. Kyle Tucker will be there in 17.
Yeah, catchers, pitchers, and me report.
He'll open the door for them. Come on in, guys. I'm the Capital One guy.
Hey, by the way, to your point, go back to January 1985 until 8-year-old Ryan Brown. You'll never see the Dolphins in another Super Bowl.
Wow.
Was that believable?
No.
Or how about after the Bears, the year after, they win their Super Bowl championship with the dominant defense. If you were to be like, hey, the Bears are never going to win another Super Bowl.
I know. It's you go back, if you can put yourself, it makes sense now. The Dolphins have sucked. The Bears in a lot of ways have sucked. But, boy, you go back to when they were in their prime, and it is absolutely unbelievable that was it for the Bears.
I had the conversation with our buddy Drew yesterday, a big Cardinals fan, and he's like, my organization is the worst in the NFL right now. We don't have a quarterback, trying to get rid of Kyler Murray. We don't have a head coach. Nobody wants this job. It's bad ownership. And, that just kind of justified one of the reasons I'm in Seattle because, Matthew Stafford could retire. Sean McVay could actually shut it down and go into broadcasting. Yep. This stuff changes so quickly, and just because you feel like your team's got it dialed in. You just really don't know how long it's going to last.
You never know.
Yep. By the way, 54 hours and about 17 minutes away from kick there in Seattle where LT is. The stat against his Rams after he tells us about our great friends at Gutter Cap. Tell us about Gutter Cap.
I actually just had our man C. Stu reach out to me, but you can reach out to him right now, an absolutely free estimate. The last thing you want to do, especially in this cold weather, is get the ladder out. You get on the roof, you slip, you fall, you snap the neck and die. No good to the wife or kids. Cap it. Don't snap it. Gutter Cap is a patented aluminum cover system. Fits over most existing gutters. Chris Stewart and his crew, they'll come out. They'll give you a free estimate. They'll clean the gutters one final time. You'll never have to do it again. Keep those gutters free, clean and free flowing. The answer is Gutter Cap. Cap it, don't snap it. 205-823-2212 or guttercapbirmingham.com.
The situation Seattle is in is 7-1 of the 8 times this has happened. 7 wins, 1 loss. This is the 9th time that the NFL has had in the conference championship or Super Bowl the number 1 scoring offense playing the number 1 scoring defense, and the number 1 scoring defense has won 7 of those 8 meetings.
Wow.
Defense wins championships, is the old saying. What's the difference on the other side of the ball? Because it's easy to say number 1 scoring offense for the Rams, number 1 scoring defense for the Seahawks. Where is the Rams defensively and where are the Seahawks offensively? Because I think that's your belief of where the path to victory is, right? Is the Seahawks offense can't hold up their end of the bargain.
Well, I've got some numbers that I'm going to throw out, and our buddy Morgan did share a couple with me, and I knew a couple of these, but this will kind of counter it back the other way. But they're both wild cards. Like at times, the Seattle offense, when Darnold's on and Kenneth Walker plays like he played this last week, Zach Charbonnet is a big loss, but Jackson Smith and Jigba, an absolute stud, but they've been very inconsistent, much like the Rams defense. Now, the Rams defense, very opportunistic. You saw it last week with the 3 turnovers against Chicago and Caleb Williams, and obviously they had a lot of success against Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold, his kryptonite has been the Rams defense, although he did beat them once this year. So I think they're both wild cards done away, and which unit plays better is probably going to be the one that wins, and it probably will come down to turnovers. But to counter some of those numbers, Sean McVay is 3-0 all-time when facing a team for the 3rd time in a season. Not surprising. Stafford 7-2 as the Rams quarterback in the postseason. And the road record for McVay at Lumen Field is 5-3 all time. So he's had a lot of success against Seattle on the road.
Difficult place to play, obviously. What is Darnold's turnover total against the Rams this year? How many total interceptions?
He threw 4 in the first one and 1 in the so 5. But if you go back, no, he didn't throw 1 in the. He threw 1 last year for Minnesota. So only 4 turnovers this year, but he's been sacked 6 or 7 times.
I was just going to make the point. He has not played well against the Rams, yet they won one of the games in Lumen, and the one in L.A. that you were in attendance came down to a field goal to win it. I mean, somehow the Seahawks have overcome his poor play against the Rams this year to beat them once and almost beat them twice.
Yeah, but I also would say the Rams in both of those games, in the first half led by double digits in SoFi, and then we're up 16 with 8 minutes to go in Lumen. So, I mean, I see your point, but at the same time, if the Rams don't make a mistake here or there, they win both of those games going away.
No, I agree with you. I was just making the point that he has not played well, but somehow Seattle
I have no idea. I'll be honest with you guys, and I'm a heavy believer in jinxes. I think the Rams are the better team. I think they've got the better quarterback. I think they got the better coach. I think it's cold outside. It's actually going down to 26 tomorrow, but that's going to be overnight. I think this crowd and the weather will help Seattle a little bit, but I don't know. I've got a feeling that this Rams team is one of the reasons I took them at 6-1 months ago to win the Super Bowl. I've got a feeling.
Okay. He mentioned jinxes, Dunaway. I've not done anything with this, though. I've looked at it almost the entire show.
Okay.
Your Ram is right here on the desk. You've left your Ram on the desk. Am I supposed to touch this? Do we pet it? Do we rub its head? Do I leave it alone?
Do you send it overnight to him?
Do I need to overnight it to you in Seattle? What do I do with your little Ram that's right, it's right
if
here?
You'll put it back. if you'll put it back on my desk, and the only reason I say that, I forgot it yesterday. I can't believe I did.
I know.
But it resides on my desk back in the sales office, and that's where it's been for the 19 games they've played this year.
Okay.
So,
all right. I was just like, I'm not going to touch it. I'm just.
You can touch it. You can touch it.
No, this is so uncomfortable.
That was a gift from Leighton. Leighton gave it to me. She went out to Albuquerque and she found a handcrafted ram, and she's still holding me too. She's like, "Hey, you still owe me a tattoo from 2021." When I told her she was like, "If the Rams win a Super Bowl this year, you got to get a Rams tattoo." And I was like, "Yeah, I'll do it."
Okay. All right. I'll put it back on the desk. I had not disturbed it. It has sat there the entire show, just like I had it a moment ago. So it'll go back on the desk. So,
by the way, in the moment of time, it probably would have been a Cooper Kupp tattoo. So I'm sort of glad you didn't get it.
No, I was going to do something so small and minimal. It would have been like almost like the Aries. Like I saw some sketches of like an Aries ram head that was very, very basic. And I don't even know where I would have put it. Like, that's the problem, man. Tattoo's just too permanent.
Yeah, it's there forever.
It really is. It really is.
Yeah. If you live
You
long.
still have yours done away?
Oh, yes, I do. I mean, you can't get rid of them.
Well, you can, but I've heard that's painful.
Yeah, I don't want to get rid of mine. I love mine.
No, you shouldn't.
I'd rather get a second one than I would get rid of it.
Yeah.
Okay, 3 unbeaten NBA college basketball teams. 3 unbeaten college basketball teams left. Who survives the weekend? I guess both of them are favored to. Nebraska's at Minnesota. West Virginia's at Arizona. I can't find Miami of Ohio playing this weekend. They may be off this weekend, which is odd.
A Saturday bye?
Yeah, that's odd. I don't have them Friday, Saturday, or Sunday.
Yeah.
Right? They're in the MAC, right?
They are in the MAC.
Yeah.
Yeah, West Virginia is good and solid this year. They're not going out to Tucson and beating Arizona. Nebraska in the barn. Minnesota's not good, but, I mean, I would say that's more of a possibility. I think they're both still undefeated when we reconvene on Monday.
Yep. Auburn's at Florida. Tough task against the defending national champs, Tennessee and Alabama, part of the SEC slate this weekend. All right, LT, enjoy your day in Seattle, man. We'll see you on Monday.
I will.
Good luck.
I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for giving me a little time, and we'll see what happens with this.
We'll talk to you Monday. Either way, I hope it's with a win. I want you to win, man. I'm pulling for it. As I told somebody yesterday, my Super Bowl occurred in Denver over the weekend. So anybody that wins this thing, I don't care. It may as well be your Rams. I'm pulling for them.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it, fellas.
All
see
right.
you guys.
See you. Have fun.
Yep. I am asexual when it comes to fandom this weekend in that game. I don't want to say I'm cheering for him or against him.
Well, I get what you're saying. You don't want to be labeled as the jinx, but you would like to see Lance happy. You could say that, right?
Yes, of course. Nothing but happiness.
Yes.
But I am not going to be cheering for the Rams or the Seahawks in that game.
So you can't be blamed for anything. You're just going to watch it with no emotion whatsoever.
I'm cheering that hopefully Tom Brady is uncharacteristically entertaining.
Yeah. People have said he's gotten better.
He has. Our friends at Michelson brings you part of the show this weekend. Tell us about Michelson Laser Vision Brownie, an opportunity to do what LT did a couple of decades ago now.
Go get that fighter pilot vision. What you need to do is you need to call Amy, 969-8100, or go to michelsonlaservision.com and tell Amy, I always hear Lance talk about that vision he's got. I want Lance Taylor's vision. LASIK surgery could be right for you. Doctors Mark and Jennifer Michelson, that is a father-daughter combo, and they are pioneers in this field of LASIK surgery. They could help your vision, and you could see 2026 better than you have ever seen. 969-8100 or michelsonlaservision.com for a risk-free evaluation just to see if LASIK surgery might be right for you. Make that call today. Talk to Amy and tell her I heard it on the next round. I want Lance Taylor's vision. 969-8100 or michelsonlaservision.com.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
We interrupt this program for breaking news from the Gators of the litigation situation. Insurance companies have a playbook. I repeat, insurance companies have a playbook. Deny, delay, defend. They know which law firms will fold and settle cheap. They are not on your side. That's corporate greed at work. At Alexander Sonara Trial Attorneys, we fight back. We have the resource, the muscle, and the will to take them on. And you don't pay a dime unless we win. They fight dirty. We fight hard. Call 659-777-7777 or hit up alexwins.law.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, Let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger, made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
It's the O'Reilly Auto Parts World of Wheels, January 30th through February 1st at the BJCC. With customs, classics, hot rods, and more. Don't miss the Golden Riders motorcycle stunt team, plus BMX stunt teams performing outrageous stunts live. Friday, meet WWE star Rikishi. Saturday is Kevin Mack from Counts Customs. And Sunday, meet TV host Courtney Hansen. Bring the kids for free Hot Wheels racing, costume characters, rides, and more. Get discount tickets at all O'Reilly Auto Parts stores. Details at worldofwheels.net.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemphill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemphill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemphill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemphill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
All right, about less than an hour away from the Nate Oates news conference in Tuscaloosa, where, Forster, you've gone to these. Can I get Forster's microphone? How many Bediako questions do you think you get today?
There could be a couple.
Nate addresses it at the start.
Yeah, that's how I imagine this will go. He'll give like a.
I know you guys are going to ask.
Yep. So here's what you go anyway, and then you'll get follow-ups based on what he says off of that.
Will Nate drink water?
Yes. By the way, the very first story on ESPN.com's basketball is Todd Golden on Bediako return. We'll beat him anyways.
That's gotten played up a lot. I mean, Golden was pretty good-natured about that. When you say, I mean, I don't. That was far from a, by God, we are going to beat them. I mean, that was. I mean, he said what he had to say, right? I mean, I think Golden was just having fun with that, don't you?
Oh, I think he. I mean, I think there are some Alabama fans that believe Florida would win the game anyway.
That's right. Yeah,
but,
I don't think he was way out on a limb.
I think he was 100% saying that he thinks they're going to beat Alabama regardless. Give me cut 4 again, Tyler. Let everybody hear Todd Golden on Gator Talk or Hey Gator, whatever it's called, Gator Talk.
Hey, Gator.
Gator Talk on the Florida Gators Sports Network presented by Learfield last night. Todd Golden gets asked about Charles Bediako's eligibility at Alabama.
You know, I think the reality is, and I don't agree with it. I don't think he should be playing. But I also don't necessarily fault Nate Oates because this is a very competitive space, and it's our jobs to win games and do everything we can, to be the best program in our specific league. And they were able to finagle the situation where they got a judge in Alabama that is actually a donor at Alabama to, write a temporary restraining order to allow this guy to play games in Alabama. I think there's a lot of people that aren't necessarily happy about it and don't necessarily agree with it. But, with all this intervention from judges, there's only so much the league can do. There's only so much other member schools in the league can do. And we just need some people to stand up and start taking a stand. And, this guy had a great opportunity. He was at Alabama for 2 years. He played there. He was there during the NIL era. He was aware of what he was giving up by declaring to go to the draft. He stayed in past the date. That has always been, if you stay in and you sign a contract, you're done. So I think this is a slippery slope.
You're going to play them a week from Sunday. Is it a distraction?
We're going to beat him anyways.
Like that?
If he plays, we'll beat him anyways.
I mean, it's far from Joe Namath laying poolside in a robe on a Barca lounger.
Oh, actually, I think that's more than Joe Namath.
We don't even have the audio of Joe. It's just like urban legend what he actually said.
By the way, Alex Condon, I mentioned this earlier, played in a semi-pro professional league in Australia.
Yeah.
Before he came here. Pretty big. Victor Mikic played in Serbia before he came here to Hamilton Heights, Tennessee, and then eventually to Florida. I mean, Todd Golden, like a lot of teams, have some foreign...
Legally.
Yeah, legally.
I mean, it's part of the NCAA rules. The NCAA carve-out was basically, as Richard Hendricks did a great job of explaining yesterday, and I know Richard joined us from the road. There were some issues, with the Zoom connection. We apologize for that. That's not Richard's fault. He was just doing what he could on short notice, right, because of this Bediako situation. Richard, by the way, on the game Saturday night on ESPN. They don't have college basketball in those places. That is their college basketball, which is why the NCAA made this ruling, is that basically this is what kids do in Europe or Australia or wherever rather than play college basketball. You made an excellent point off the air. If the NCAA is going to have this ruling, then you've got to count the years they play in those professional leagues against their NCAA eligibility to make it fair, it would seem, to the American players. What the Tuscaloosa judge said is there is enough to this that legally I'm going to give a restraining order because how can you say one set of pros are eligible and one set of pros are not? I think another judge needs to listen to this, which is what will happen Tuesday, where another judge will either file an injunction or say, no, I think the NCAA is right about this.
Oh, will it be another judge? Is that the same
that's
judge?
my understanding. It's a different judge. This will go to a different level, a different judge. And this judge, he or she will hear this and say, either, you know what, they're right. You can't just say one set of pros can be eligible, one set of pros cannot. Or say, nope, there is no case to this. The NCAA gets to make their rules. You agree to play the NCAA. You agree to their rules. They can do whatever they want. I don't know how this is going to go. You've read a lot of legal opinions that seem to think that the Bediako side has the better case here.
Most of the legal people I've talked to believe that the steps that the NCAA have decided themselves have opened the legal door for this restraining order, then injunction to stand up on appeal, that the NCAA will not be able to beat it.
Yeah.
Because of the decisions. Basically, that goes back to the Njai kid from Baylor, who was drafted 31st in the NBA draft. Bediako was undrafted. Now, though he never signed an NBA contract, we're told, Bediako did a two-way contract but never appeared in a game. That's where it's going to come precarious close to how some judge rules that.
Yeah, it seems to me like the ruling should be you either allow pros or you don't. You can't decide you're going to just draw the line with this narrow set of professionals. You either allow pros to play or not. That would seem to be the ruling to me, but I did not go to law school at Jacksonville State, so I don't know. I would also point out, because I got some of this. I was in a discussion on this on Twitter last night, and I got some of this, like, if Alabama wanted to do this, they should get the rules changed, which is fine.
The rules have been changed by the NCAA by allowing the Baylor player to come in.
No. The Bediako situation, like that is the NCAA saying, yeah, that's not part of our rules, that Alabama should have gone through the rules change process, which is fine. You could say that, but understand this is Bediako's only option here, because Bediako's clock runs out at the end of this scholastic year. So his only option to ever play college basketball again was this option. He had no other recourse except to do it through the courts and try to sue his way basically into college basketball. He's got half of a season left in his life in college sports.
Yeah. And again, as pointed out by several people, the NCAA is not, they didn't incorporate themselves. So it's not NCAA.inc. It's their .org, right? They're an organization. They're not an incorporation.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, I believe that is
So
they're subject to state laws, not federal.
Yeah, they're subject to
all laws, but
yeah, they're subject to every state that they have a school in. Those state judges,
right?
Which is why the judge in Tuscaloosa can make this ruling, and a judge in Texas can make a ruling on behalf of Baylor, and a judge in this place and that place can make a ruling on this.
So Bobby says in the chat room, and I understand this point of view, is he says, here's how it's different with Bediako. He started his eligibility clock and gave it up to sign an NBA contract. The players in Europe did not. That is an obvious difference. There's no doubt that's a difference, and that's why the NCAA ruled the way they did.
To Bobby's point, I always did think, to his phrasing there, I've always said when a player declares for the NFL or NBA draft, bypassing his eligibility to go to the NFL, which I don't know if they sign a document that says I give up the rest of my eligibility.
I think you only do that when you agree to a pro contract or you accept money for playing the sport you're playing.
But to his point, I've always thought, by my reporting over the years, that when you decide to leave school, you are giving up your remaining of eligibility.
Well,
that's the way I've always thought that.
I don't think that's what triggers it, Jim. I think what triggers it is you getting drafted. Because think of a guy that enters but doesn't sign an agent. They can come back. Or they sign an approved agent now is the way the rule works. They can come back. So they don't lose their eligibility just because they left school early. They lose their eligibility when they miss the deadline, they stay in the draft, and they get drafted, or they don't get drafted.
Yeah, but in basketball terms, they're putting themselves in the NBA draft process, and then there's a date they pull themselves out of the process.
But to Bobby's, to the other side of that, though, I don't think that's what the court is deciding here. I don't think the court cares when the NCAA says, what the eligibility clock says. All the court, I think, is deciding is if, and I could be wrong about this, but I think this is what the court is deciding. Can the NCAA say this set of professional athletes are eligible for us, but this set of professional athletes are not?
Yep.
Because here's the example I used yesterday.
This is the legal term here is the NCAA will have a hard time arguing in court that European professional basketball players or Australia or anywhere else can be 22-year-old freshmen with no issues.
Yep.
But American players who enter the draft, go undrafted, cannot be.
Yeah.
None of these players, and this guy even points out, none of these players should be able to play college athletics, but the line the NCAA has tried to draw is not going to hold up legally.
That's it. I mean, when the NCAA decided to allow this, they created a slippery slope, and Bediako is just the first person to try to push them down this slope. And I mean, a lot of the legal minds think he's going to be successful in doing that. The example I used yesterday was like, I used you at Montevallo. Let's say you played baseball scholarship at Montevallo. After your junior year, you're like, this is not working out for me. I'm going to go work at the local Exxon. That doesn't work out for you either. You've got a year of eligibility left. You come back and Montevallo takes you back. You can play.
And my 5-year clock's not over.
Your 5-year clock hasn't expired. Nobody bats an eye at that, right? The only difference between you and Charles Bediako, well, there are a lot of differences between you and Charles Bediako, but in this situation, the biggest difference is when he left, he became a professional athlete, which ends your eligibility. The argument now is if you allow pro athletes, that shouldn't end my eligibility. That's his argument. So I get why people are saying it's different because he played then left, but I don't think that is going to factor into this decision. I don't think It could, but I don't think that's what they're deciding here.
Our friends at Storm Restoration Roofing bring you Trash on the Table today. Our final thoughts on the show today. And Greg from Pell City will give you some final words about your roof. There's a good chance that if you're watching or listening to us right now, or watching us or listening to us on the app or on our podcast or whatever, that you have not been on your own roof to inspect your own roof, and it may be a while since you had your roof inspected. Greg will do that for free. He'll get on your roof and give you a free no-cost roof inspection, and then he'll let you know what's going on up there. Maybe you've got some loose shingles, which can be a water entryway to your roof, which causes major damage. Maybe you've got some cracks around the chimney or around piping or anything like that. He'll give it a good look. Then he comes down and gives you his evaluation, and then you move from there. Maybe your roof is fine for another 3, 4, 5 years. Maybe it's time to get a new roof. Regardless, when it's time to get that new roof, or if you've got storm damage, we want you to remember Greg from Pell City in Storm Restoration Roofing. The number to call to get started with that no-cost roof inspection, 205-542-3531, or go to his website, stormrestorationroofing.com. You can look him up on Facebook as well. Greg from Pell City, A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Congratulations, the Cure Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees 2019. Are you as excited as I am?
By the sounds of it, no.
LT's Trash is presented by Bud Light.
One of my favorites right there. Great job, Tyler. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy, our friends at Bud Light. Speaking of rock, former guitarist for a legendary rock band is refusing to release what he calls the greatest album of all time. That's a big statement. Unless fans pay $200 per song. That's $200 per song. Ex-Kiss member Vinnie Vincent announced last month he would sell his new record, Judgment Day Guitarmageddon, one song at a time. The controversial decision offered fans collector singles as individually signed and numbered CDs, each costing $200 plus shipping, but only once reaching $1,000 pre-sale. So let me. He says,
First off,
what?
Just from looking afar. I grew up listening to Kiss. It was my first concert.
That's right.
Never heard of this guy.
And nor have I.
Okay. Was he an original Kiss member?
Do not know. Tyler?
I do not believe so. No.
Yeah.
Okay. So, A. 2, horrible makeup.
Yeah, clearly somebody was doing Kiss's makeup for them, and he no longer has access to that.
Yep. 3, the logo he has on his album, I'm suing if I'm Van Halen.
Yes.
Oh, I'm with you on that. Yeah, the Invasion logo right there. Yeah.
Yep. And I think that's enough for me to be done with this story. Yeah.
4 CD. Let's don't. I don't know the last time I saw a CD player.
Yeah. But if you guys would sign off of it, I would pay him $200 to hear one of these songs to see how bad it was.
I would kind of like to hear how bad it is. I'm with you.
Weirdly enough, I see more vinyls and cassettes.
Correct,
than
and CD players. Yeah. I mean, I think I can far easier find a vinyl, a record player, as we called it as kids, a record player than I can a CD player.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's back. There's a vein of record players that you can buy at the local Barnes & Noble right now if you want.
Yeah. I have not seen a CD player in forever.
Yeah. This guy's horrible makeup.
Yeah. I guess technically every computer still has a CD player in it. Does it still have the thing where then you put
some do, some
don't?
Like my Mac does not have a place to put a CD in or a place to plug anything in.
Really?
Yeah. It's all self-contained.
That's kind of the way they want it, I think. Yeah. A Walnut Grove couple. Is this local Walnut Grove? Do you know, Tyler? I don't think it is.
I bet no.
You bet no? Wait till you hear the story. Maybe.
No, I believe Walnut Grove.
I'm sorry. I see it right here. It is in Springfield, Connecticut.
I was going to say Wyoming, but okay.
The Walnut Grove couple told police they slept through an unexpected burglar who allegedly helped himself to their pulled pork and left behind a backpack and paperwork the police say made identifying him easier than expected.
Yeah.
It's got his name on it. According to online documents, Josh Anthony Peacock, born 1997 of Springfield, charged with first-degree, I've never been able to say this word, burglary. I got it right there.
You got it.
Burglary, Rikishi, in Greene County Circuit Court. Probable cause statement says a woman living in the home woke up to find her back door standing open and a container of pulled pork on the kitchen counter completely empty. This is a crime against humanity. The leftovers, she told officers, had been safely tucked inside the refrigerator when the couple went to bed. Curious and hungry for answers, the woman reviewed her home surveillance footage. The video, she told police, showed a man sitting on the couple's porch late the previous night, apparently charging his phone before letting himself inside through the back door. He was inside the home for about 25 minutes while the homeowner slept. The statement says the footage appeared to show the man eating pulled pork before exiting the residence. It's a good-looking sandwich Tyler used there. You like pork sandwich, don't you? Pulled pork?
I do. I have one probably every other week, and that does look like a good sandwich.
It does.
I may want more sauce at some point.
I like the look of that sauce, though.
I do too, and I like the burnt edges.
Yeah.
Definitely needs some pickle or some chow chow even.
You know, I can do without that, Tyler.
Yeah.
It does add to it, but I don't have to have it.
Yeah. I mean, I like a good slaw.
Yes.
I can put a good slaw on top of it.
Yes.
But I'm okay with that stuff being on the side. The fries need some salt.
Yeah, those fries. I like skin-on fries. I don't know if you like skin-on fries.
I do. I
don't think those are skin-on. I don't know what you would call those. What would you
Those
call
are your typical barbecue restaurant.
Yeah.
Open a bag, throw them in the fryer fries.
You like crinkle cut?
I don't like crinkle cut.
Do you not?
Nope. Because usually they're not made fresh.
You know what? I don't like potato wedges. Not a big potato wedge guy.
I don't like potato wedges, but I really, really don't like curly fries.
No, that's the worst of the fries.
I agree.
The worst of the fries.
I like
Scott.
Here we go. Here we go. We've started a debate. What do you got, Scotty?
Dead wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm an equal opportunity fry enthusiast.
Yes.
I love fries in all shapes, sizes.
However God made them, huh?
But not curly fries.
I love those too.
I mean, if you...
It's a bottom tier fry.
Yeah, if you
Nonsense.
If you went to a place that
Get outta here.
If you went to a place that has the meat, those are
I'm not a fan of those.
Those are the worst fries.
I'm trying to think of who has one. I ate one recently that I like. I don't care for those that you're talking about, the place that has the meat, the beef or whatever it is. Who's got one that I like, though? I ate it recently.
It's the meats, and their fries are good too.
They're horrible.
Trash.
In this guy's opinion.
In one man's opinion.
Yep.
Dadgummit, who had those curly fries that I like? They're good.
And I'll tell you another thing I don't like about curly fries. Because whatever your container you're serving them in, because of their design, you get limited number of fries.
Well, here's what I don't like about them is sometimes they interlock. So you pull one out and like 5 or 6 come out and you have to separate them and drop them back in the container.
And that's eating up space in the container. So now I've been cheated out of French fries.
Yeah.
That aren't even French fries. They're curly fries.
And I cannot.
Brooks brings up a good point. Don't waffle fries do the same thing? They take up space?
They do. I'm not a huge fan of the waffle fry.
I like a good waffle fry.
Do you?
Yeah.
Skin-on's the way to go for me. In a barbecue restaurant, skin-on's great.
I mean, I don't want to go blue blood, but McDonald's fries are still good.
They are?
Yeah.
They are. Oh, Scott,
gold
Scott went down.
That's fine. You can keep your James Madison curly fries. You're not getting my bracket anymore.
I'm not rushing to crush the whole container of curly fries.
But you
before I
are at
get
McDonald's?
home.
Yeah, at McDonald's, it's hard to make them home. I agree. Florida man back in trash. It's every day now. He's facing up to 5 years behind bars for allegedly turning this into a weapon, Dunaway. What gets you 5 years behind bars?
If I open that ketchup right there and I squirt it in somebody's eye, that is shots fired.
It is shots fired, and unfortunately, he had a prior conviction. This gentleman has priors here. So that ketchup packet for him has become a felony weapon. I think maybe we've overcharged this a little bit.
You think so?
Again, did not go to law school at Jacksonville State, want to point out. According to police, 28-year-old Austin Simmons, once great quarterback, was arrested Monday after an incident inside a Florida bus terminal. Officers say he appeared to be passed out when another man, Carlos Mora, stopped to check on him. That's when things escalated. As reported by the Smoking Gun, Simmons allegedly woke up irate, approached Mora, and threw an open ketchup packet at him. Police noted that Mora suffered 2 spots of ketchup on his jacket as a result of the incident. I really think we've overtried. I've got to find something else in here. The arrest affidavit states officers found the packet on the ground, already open, the ketchup spilling out. The packet holds roughly
wait a second. Help me out
3/10
here.
of an ounce. Yeah.
So this is a story in America right now where Austin Simmons is the one charged and Carlos is not?
Carlos is tried to wake him up. Police say Simmons denied striking Mora with a condiment,
Wow.
but reportedly admitted giving the victim a ketchup packet. Although this type of incident is usually treated as a misdemeanor, Simmons was charged with third-degree felony due to a prior 2019 battery conviction. Being held on $5,000 bond.
Yeah, if I was Carlos, I'd go ahead and tell him to accept the settlement right here and not go to trial.
And finally, a YouTuber looking for attention is taking the New Year, New Me mantra to the next level, streaming himself 24/7 in total isolation for an entire year to quote-unquote reset his mindset and lose weight. The YouTuber who goes by the name...
Is there food on the inside?
Well, that'll lose weight quick.
Yeah.
The YouTuber who goes by the name Skip began his unique project called The Isolation Year, January 10th. So he missed the first 10 days of the new year, I'll point out.
I know what he's doing.
Yeah, since then, he's been consistently streaming for 24 hours a day from his home office. That includes a bathroom, a bed, a workout area stocked with various fitness equipment. He announced his ambitious project via community post in December 2025. In his post, the streamer revealed the goal of his broadcast is to reset his mind and body. He hopes without any escapes or ways to skirt accountability from his viewers, he'll be able to discipline himself enough to stay consistent and develop a workout routine to get in shape.
How's he getting paid?
I'm guessing he's trying to get enough views to get paid. We know that game. It is a difficult game to play.
That was what I assumed as well.
Yeah.
He said for now he's living off of savings and quote living poor.
Yeah.
Number 2.
Okay. Dos.
If I get up and don't feel like working out today, it's pretty boring feed, I guess.
I'm sleeping in, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
And then you seep into depression because you haven't been outside.
Yeah.
And now I'm not going to be motivated to work out.
And you have no interpersonal relationships, so nobody.
Which means there's a corner out of camera view.
Yeah.
Because you can't stream that.
That's right. Yeah. I'm gonna say we get an update on this. So Tyler, if you want to monitor this one, I'm gonna say by March he's done.
I'll pay attention to this.
Yeah. I'll give him through February. Short month.
Oh, that's a long month.
Yeah.
No way. We never hear of this guy again. That page will be taken down.
Yes, that's right. No YouTube page for him.
Has he written on the wall over there?
I believe so.
Yep.
We got Susan E.
Oh, those are people that have said hello, I'm sure.
Shane.
Big audience he's got there.
I'm guessing if you send a super chat of a certain amount, you get your name drawn on the wall.
Which answers part of your question.
Hey, we'll put you on the wall right here.
That's right.
If I can get another super chat.
Thank you for the $50, Susan E. You're going on the wall.
Yeah, I'm going to put you on the $100. We're changing it to a $1,000 wall now.
That is Trash presented by Bud Light. Before we go, can Tyler update us on the app? People are asking about the app. We've sent it out on social media. People need to update their app.
They are asking.
They're asking, Tyler.
What do you got, Tyler?
Update their app, right? Is that what we need to tell people? It's a new and improved app. And what people see is it is a video feed rather than an audio feed. But the video feed becomes an audio feed when you close your phone and play it in the background, right? So it's the best of both worlds.
Correct. I wanted to bring the live video stream we do every day on YouTube and every other platform to the app as well. And I also still wanted to have a background play sort of function so that way everybody who's using the app when they're at work or driving in the car can still just listen to the app if they don't want to.
If they don't want video, it's audio only, right? So the way this is designed is you close your phone and it continues playing in the background. Some of you are having an issue that it doesn't automatically start playing in the background. You have to hit play again on your home screen and it plays in the background just like the audio app always has. So it's video and audio.
Yes. Now it does not autoplay when you open up the app. So you'll have to actually press play on either the podcast down below or the live stream, depending on what you want. And also, you will have to, you'll have to press play from the lock screen.
Yeah, for the time being, we're working on that not being the case.
We're working on
right.
a much better function for people to just automatically start background play.
That's right.
And also note that if you are an Android user, you don't get background play at all. I fought for it because I am also an Android user.
Yeah.
Turns out Android doesn't allow it for web-based live streams.
Oh, well, there you go.
So hopefully they allow it in the future, and we can roll that out.
Write
for
a strongly worded letter
the
to
Android
Android.
people.
Yes. All right. Thank you, Tyler.
All right. That's the show today. We're back with you on Monday of the next round. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.